सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपादकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सह गणरघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सह गणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं। नमो नमस्ते सारस्वती गुरुवाणी विचारणी निर्विशेष पाश्चात्य देशता। So we are up to 4th canto 26th chapter verse number 10, correct? We did up to 10 is done, 11 we have to go to. Okay. So far our Puranjana is going to the forest and is hunting all the innocent animals, and he is very he is full he is quenching his passion by doing that. So we will go further. There up to this point Prabhupada is talking about this ill effects of killing animals and the jiva himsa basically, right? So now he is, after this he is coming home, he is tired and is coming home. Tatah kshutrit parishranto, in 426 11 we are reading from. Tatah kshutrit parishranto nivritto grihameivan कृतस्नानो चिताहारः संविवेश गतक्लमः.
This the king became very much fatigued, hungry and thirsty, returned to his royal palace. After returning, he took a bath and had an appropriate dinner. Then he took rest and thus became freed from all restlessness.
So so basically, when we go out, as we discussed yesterday, also touched upon that when we are really passionate as activities, no, we will be very restless. Even we're doing also, and after that also. Why we are restless doing passionate activities? Restless can also be a bit of a disturbance.
Nature of passion, because we have material desires to fulfill.
The nature of the activity itself keeps us disturbed because one thing, passionate activities are always fruitive in nature, full of fruits. Like I want to achieve something. Like at the end of this activity, there should be some what do you call that as Hare Krishna. At the end of that activity, I want some material thing, some gain, profit for me. It can be name, fame, it can be some wealth, it can be anything. So when the wealth thing is not coming, it's going down, then we become morose. When wealth is high, then we are elated. So this is how this Puranjana going out to kill the animals in the forest is considered is compared to that kind of an activity where he is leaving out his intelligence and he is going out for like all sense gratificatory activities, basically. Hmm? So that is where all the senses are being. That is why the horse, the senses are all compared to the horse, that mind and chariot and all those things are given because he is going out on the move. People many times, Hare Krishna. People many times what happens, they go out for a long drive or they go out for some picnic. They just go. What do they have? I mean, I cannot understand, conceive that thing at all, especially after coming to Krishna consciousness. People just spend so much money going all the way to Kulu, Manali, Darjeeling, and all these places just to go stay in a hotel there, which again is 10,000, 15,000, whatever that per day amount is. They have so much, they just one night, they just go eat all junk food there and then go out to just see, take some pictures and come back. If you go to Google and type Kulu Manali, all those pictures are there by default. And there is nothing they can do there. They just go, oh, yes, I had a nice time. But the thing is, while they are saying they have a nice time, that is because Krishna is reciprocating to them through that nature. That nature has that quality to give us some happiness, that peace of mind. Huh? Little touch of when you go out to a open space, green, or see a mountain or see ocean, you will feel, seeing the vastness of it, you will feel calm and peaceful. But automatically it comes. Even if you don't believe in God, they feel happy. Have some fresh breeze because Krishna is representing himself in these different items, all these different things. So, but when we go to the same places, we have books in our hand, we have our kartal in our hand, or we have prasadam plates and thing in our hand. We have no time to even spend on this, nice mountain, nice, right? So what happens? We are in the Shuddha Sattva platform and we are engaged in these things. So even without appreciating those things, they still reciprocate. Even better. The reciprocation of all these mountains, rivers, oceans, etc., is even better for us, even though we may not so much give our focus there. Why? Because we are connecting to Krishna. We are connecting to Krishna visibly or explicitly. We are connecting to Krishna, and those those entities that there, they also reciprocate to us accordingly. So in this world, Maharaj always used to say this nice point: everything around us speaks to us. Everything around us, they speak to us. This room speaks to us. That clock speaks to us. These chairs speak to us. These windows speak to us. The scene outside the window, they speak to us. Have you noticed it? These chairs, they are very clean. They are speaking to us in a very calm mood. So if all these chairs were like dumped one on top of another, there is a disturbance there. So that disturbance, we will also be disturbed. Maharaj used to say that when you have clothes in your home also, dirty clothes, fast clothes, keep them in a corner very nicely folded and or in a nice basket. You just put it, don't crush and put it there. Because a crushed cloth put inside, dumped in a corner, every time you enter into the room, that speaks to you. Why have you crushed me? That is that disturbance. So you also get disturbed. Understand? Mridanga also, when you keep it properly, safely, then it speaks to you. Okay, thank you, it says. If you just leave it alone in a corner or in the middle of some water or something is poured there, you will be disturbed because it is disturbed. The entity may be insentient, but Krishna is inside. You understand? In every atom, he is inside. So, in this world, everything around us speaks to us. Same Mridanga will talk to two people differently. See, suppose you take the Mridanga and play, you know how to play the Mridanga. The sound, instead of coming the proper sound, it gives top, top, top like that. Then it speaks to you. Come on, you have to tighten it. Right? You have the you understand that language because hey, this sound is not coming all right. So you put some water or some pour, show it in the heat or something, and it gets you tune it. But if somebody does not know how to tune the mridanga and doesn't know the difference between the different sounds, for him he will not hear mridanga speech. You understand? Mridanga is telling something, but we will not understand it because my consciousness is not there to accept that thing. That is how Uttam Adhikaris, they say, Keshava Tuya Jagat Vichitra. Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings. Your Jagat is Vichitra, Keshav. So he is telling that Vichitra means everything is unique in its nature, very special. Everything is special. So we can identify the speciality of each one of those things if we connect to them in a favorable way. But here, Puranjana is connecting in an unfavorable way to the different entities. So what happens? That is why he is disturbed also. When you disturb others, it comes back to disturb you. They may not physically come and jump on you. Some animals may jump on you, some may not jump. But then the consciousness with which they suffer or they die, that consciousness will affect us. You suppose you kill a rabbit or you injure a rabbit or something, how much it will feel the pain. So conscious Paramatma feels that you have unnecessarily given pain to this animal. So he will, the same Paramatma is inside us also. So he will not let us be peaceful. That's why whatever a person may do charity, still sometimes they will, with all the money and everything, still they will not be peaceful. Because they would have done some sinful activities in the earlier days of their life or past, whatever. So that comes to haunt us. It's very true. So that is why we should be very careful in our dealings, whether it is conscious living entity, sentient living entity, or insentient living entity. And for that, we need to take the help of the intelligence. And he has left his wife and went away. Wife is representing the intelligence. Right? So this is such a nice point here. He took a bath and then he took rest and thus became freed from all restlessness. Now, coming to home is like coming, Prabhupada says here, coming to home is like coming to Krishna consciousness. This last part of read this thing, it's very nice. The word Uchita Haraha from there on. No.
The word Uchita
wait a minute. See, the paragraph before.
King Puranjana coming home.
Yes.
King Puranjana's coming home, taking bath and having an appropriate dinner indicate that the materialistic person must retire from sinful activities and become purified by accepting a spiritual master and hearing from him about the values of life. If one would do this, he would feel completely refreshed, just as one feels after taking a bath. After receiving initiation from a bona fide spiritual master, one must abandon all kinds of sinful activities, namely illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, and meat eating.
See, this is such a nice thing. Prabhupada is comparing coming home. He will keep on repeating this in the next few verses also. Coming home and taking shelter of the wife, that is intelligence, as taking instructions from a spiritual master. So when a person is really passionate about earning money, earning name, fame, all those things, which is compared to the hunting thing here, because you see, hunting is where you give some disturbance to the other living entities. You cannot simply go around in the forest and come back, feel happy about it. Especially those who are looking for hunting and I have achieved something. Those who look for achieving something. Similarly, if we also want to achieve something in this world, we have to disturb some living entities. We have to put some other living entities in difficulty. There's no way you can achieve name and fame without putting somebody in difficulty. See, all these Ambanis, Adanis, and Narayanamurtis and Birlas are all there. They are glorified by so many people. Do you think they would have gone to that level without disturbing any other living entities? So many people are still cursing NRN for spoiling their career. Many of them will be telling that, oh, Birla, Azim Premji and Tata, they created such a big empire. But then thousands and thousands of other people, they still curse them. So you cannot, in this material world, it is almost impossible to climb the ladder for name and fame without putting someone else down. That is where this world is full of competition. And two people are there. If you want to go above him, by pushing him only, you can go above. That's the reality of this, sad reality of this world. So anywhere you want to achieve something in this world, knowingly or unknowingly, you would have disturbed somebody. So that is what this represents, this going to forest and hunting. Very important thing, See how Narada Muni so beautifully has taken this hunting as a. He could have told him that our Puranjana went to protect his kingdom and killed so many army, the enemy's army. Killing enemy's army and killing animals in hunting are not the same thing. Because when you are killing some enemy's army, you are protecting your citizens, your prajas from the attack. But going for hunting is for sporting, he is going. Right? He's just to follow for some sport thing, for his own enjoyment. Protecting the citizens from the enemy is not for enjoyment, but this is for enjoyment. So that's where it's so nicely Narada Muni is comparing him. He is killing all these animals for his own enjoyment, for that yajna and all. That's Prachana Barhi is parallelly putting this thing that you are killing all these animals. That Puranjana was also killing all these animals for his own enjoyment. There you will never be peaceful because you have disturbed some living entity. That's the reality of this world. Okay, so let's continue reading Uchitahara.
The word Uchitahara used in this verse is important. Uchita means appropriate. One must eat appropriately and not take after food, as hogs take after stool. For human being, there are eatables described in Bhagavad Gita, verse 17.8 as Satvika Ahara or food in the mode of goodness. One should not indulge in eating food in the modes of passion and ignorance. This is called Uchita Ahara or appropriate eating. One who is always eating meat or drinking liquor, which is eating and drinking in passion and ignorance, must give these things up so that his real consciousness may be awakened.
If you give up these things itself, your real consciousness will be awakened. After that, taking advantage of it, nurturing it is the taking prasadam, association of devotees and all that. But see the benefit of simply by giving up liquor, giving up all this intoxication and all these things itself, your real consciousness is awakened. That's what he is doing. His real consciousness is awakened as soon as he came back from the hunting and refreshed himself. No, so far he has not. So far he has just come back. His consciousness is awakened, but it's not still good. We will see in the next few verses what is going to complete that awakening part.
In this way, one may become peaceful and refreshed. If one is restless or fatigued, one cannot understand the signs of God.
See, this restless or fatigued. These two words Prabhupada is using. Restless is out of I want to do this, I want to do this, always agitated. Fatigued is you do so much of these things that you will feel tired. People are after this material achievement so much that they want they were struggling so hard all through their life to achieve some position, name, fame, and all those things. But you see, invariably after all these things, they will come very tired and fatigued. See how much I tried to get all this name and fame. Nobody is bothering. Right? One may be a big person, whatever. But at the end of the day, people are after them also only for their benefit. This is the problem with material aggrandizement of wealth and prosperity or name and fame and spiritual progress. In material progress, what happens is people associate with you only for their benefit. They don't care for you. Right? Anybody who goes to all these Tatas and Birlas or whatever this Ambanis and Adanis, are they going to do some welfare, good thing to them? Or are out of well-being do they go there? They just go there because they will get some money or get some position in their life. A pujari will go to Ambani and they will do the puja in their home. Right? Does he do it for their welfare? When he goes and does it for Ambani, he get all bountiful of whatever thing that they can get. And then they come back. Correct. But when you come to spiritual service, you don't normally you don't go for your well-being. You go for how can, like yesterday, who was asking that question in the class? That service is interrupted. Who said that? Sundar Prabhu said. My service to that devotee stops, and I am affected by that. Why? This is the difference between separation from a material relationship and separation in a spiritual relationship. Separation in a material relationship, people cry because that the happiness that the other person was giving to me, I will not be able to receive anymore. Got it? Because in the material world, giving happiness to others is a very difficult thing. But in the spiritual side, you can give happiness very simply. Suppose I bring a, say, one small cup of prasadam and give you, will be very happy. Huh? Mayapur? Cake. Mayapur cake. For us here, Govinda's laddu is also, somebody gave laddu yesterday when we go. Right? So that desires are very simple. You see, like, and secondly, I feel the pain of that separation only because I cannot serve that Vaishnava anymore in that body, in this body. Not that he will not be able to serve me. I cannot enjoy his service. That is not the right way of understanding. I mean, that spiritual side. Spiritual side is you always want to connect with somebody or associate with somebody only to serve them. Right? Even if you are receiving some knowledge from the spiritual master, it may look like our senior Vaishnava, it may look like you are taking service, but actually you are giving service to them. How?
By giving them opportunity to speak about Krishna, or
They will get happiness anywhere else also. They will get opportunity anywhere else also.
because they're preaching the message of Krishna consciousness.
Correct.
They're getting that opportunity to speak about.
No, what is exactly service imply? What is the ultimate result of service? What is the ultimate aim of service? To make the other person happy, to please the other person. So when the spiritual master is giving knowledge, he is serving. Correct. But what is the service we are doing to them by receiving that knowledge?
We are submissively hearing.
They are pleased. Very simple. They are pleased. Right? When you are eager to hear the knowledge, we are all sitting here. We are discussing together. You could have always said, Prabhu, enough, we can go. No. But we are not here to, I have to attend 3 hours of class. Not like that. We genuinely want to increase our knowledge, improve our knowledge, and think about applying. So when someone is hearing to another person speaking or guiding, they are pleasing them. That is the service that they are doing, because the spiritual master or the guide, the speaker, they feel very happy when the listener is very eager to get this knowledge and to progress in their service. So that is how we serve the speaker. Right? We can give a glass of water, that is one service. We can arrange the mic, that is another service. But that is not enough for them. They can also go and get a glass of water. That's not a problem for them. That's not a very difficult thing for them. But getting the listeners to attentively hear is the greatest happiness that the speaker can have. They are very happy and joyful to see someone eager for receiving that knowledge. Yudhishthira Maharaj, everybody were very happy with Yudhishthira Maharaj, and Parikshit Maharaj also. Sukadeva Goswami was very happy with Parikshit Maharaj because they were so eager to hear the by Shravanam. They were doing the service to the Kirtaniya. You got it? So this is the way we are exchanging happiness, and in that way we are serving each other. So let's continue here.
As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.20, in this way, one may become peaceful and refreshed. If one is restless or fatigued, one cannot understand the science of God. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, first 1.2.20, evam prasanna manaso
So Bhagavad Bhakti Yogataha
Bhagavad
Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate.
Unless one can become free from the influence of passion and ignorance, he cannot be pacified. And without being pacified, one cannot understand the science of God. King Puranjana is returning home.
So 1 minute. Now, Prabhupada is quoting this shloka, right? But if you see the English, is actually giving the translation of the previous verse. Tadarajastamo bhava kamalobhadayasye chetayetara vidam sitam satve prasiddhati. Right? After that, evam prasanna manasodam. Correct? Yeah, how nicely Prabhupada is tying the two. We have to be careful when you read the purport, read like this. Because this English lines are not for the translation for the previous verse. They both are connected verses. First, Rajas, Tamo, Bhava, they go, lust and greed are gone away. And if you read the first paragraph, Prabhupada actually gives this thing. In the middle of the thing, generally a materialistic person is infected by the material modes of passion and ignorance. The results of passion and ignorance are lust and greed. In the life of materialist, activities means one working in lust and greed. So this is this lust and greed. Tada rajas tamo lobha kama tada rajas tamo bhava kama lobhadayasche cheta yete rana viddam sitam satve prasiddhati. It is established in the mode of goodness. Evam prasanna manaso Bhagavad Bhakti Yoga. That's from that platform only you can do Bhagavad Bhakti Yoga. And you can actually inquire about Tattva Vijnanam. Right? So nice really here, Prabhupada is... and please continue.
King Puranjana's returning home is indicating of man's returning to his original consciousness, known as Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is absolutely necessary for one who has committed a lot of sinful activities, especially killing animals or hunting in the forest.
Why Prabhupada is saying absolutely necessary? Is there the others are there, Prabhu? They can also answer. Why Prabhupada is saying absolutely necessary? I think Raghav Prabhu is saying something. Sorry?
One doesn't become Krishna conscious, then
Sorry, Prabhu is saying something. Mike.
Yes, bro, please speak.
here Prabhupada is saying that Krishna consciousness is the without being Krishna consciousness, there is no hope for them because they are doing so much killing. Then they are destined to go to hell.
What is he saying? I couldn't hear it. Without being Krishna conscious?
They are killing, so they are destined to go to hell.
They're destined to go to hell.
Mm.
This is the only way to save ourselves from that thing. Can I understand it that way? Okay. Anyone else here propose? Absolutely necessary. Why is saying?
Same thing. Because they are continuing sinful activities, so they will degrade into lower species. And
Sorry, they are continuous.
they will degrade into the lower species of life.
Lower
So they
species
will
of
suffer more and
consciousness.
more.
Yeah. Because if you see, there is why he is saying absolutely necessary is because other than Krishna consciousness, there is no other way by which they can come to they can get rid of those sins. By karma, jnana, and all, they cannot get rid of those sins. Only by bhakti you can get rid of the sins. Right? That is why he is saying absolutely necessary because what they are doing in the form of this killing animals or hunting and the butcher and slaughterhouse and all that, it cannot be cleansed away by any amount of prayashchita. Right? That is why in the sixth canto, if you remember, this Ajamila's thing before that, Parishit Maharaj asked a beautiful question, no? Prayashchitam matokatham. Manya Kunjara Shauchavati says. Correct? Again and again he is going to. The reason of doing things twofold. Absolutely necessary. Why it is absolutely necessary? What is the first thing? This is the only way by which all these things can be purified. Correct? What is the second reason? Easiest way is okay. Easiest, okay, that is. Then third. What is the third reason?
The tendencies will not go.
Sorry, Prabhu?
The tendencies of committing sins will not go up. It will go only by bhakti.
Yeah. That is where I was giving the hint of the elephant throwing the mud on itself. It is kechit kevalaya bhaktya vasudeva parayanaha agham dunvanti karsniyena nigharam iva bhaskaraha. If you see that the thing is, when the sun comes, then the fog is not there anymore. It doesn't come back again. As long as the sun is there, it doesn't come back anymore. But that is why the question itself, Parikshit Maharaj, when he asks, he says that when I cut the weeds again, it grows. What's the point? This act of atonement and repentance and atonement, it doesn't help anyway. I keep on doing the prayashchita, but I keep on getting the thing again and again. I am doing it. It's like elephant throwing mud on its head. So for this to be completely uprooted so that this tendency doesn't come again in our life, that is only possible through Krishna consciousness. You understand? There is no other method which can remove the past sins completely like Krishna and like Krishna consciousness. The first reason. Second reason is this is the only process that can uproot it completely so that the tendency also doesn't come back. That's why Prabhupada is saying absolutely necessary. Avipakwa, Prabhu. Avipakwa, immature devotional service. And three reasons that Krishna himself tells to Narad Muni, no? In the first canto, Antasmin Janmani Bhavan Mamam Drashtum Iharhasi Avipakwa Kashayanam Turdarshoham Kuyoginam. Avipakwa means our devotional service is immature. It is not pakwa. It has not become pakwa. And pakka, it has not become mature. Still, it's immature thing, Second thing is kashayanam. Kashayanam means suppose you have this tea or something you make kashayam, the kada you make, na? In that kada when you make, the top part will be very clean, but the dirt, this thing will be underneath, right? From the top, people say you are a pure devotee. You go out and somebody scolds you, screams at you, then the dirt, he stirs the dirt, it all comes up. So that is the kashayanam. So this is the second reason. All these kashayas should be completely dissolved. Even little bit is there also in the bottom of the heart, they will just come up. Material dirts, they are called. Outside it will look like we don't have any desires, but inside it can still be lurking. So that is possible only by pure devotional service. By, our bhakti should be 100% intense and pure. Then the third thing is kuyogi. Kuyogi means who does not do his seva, the devotional service properly. Our chanting is not proper. We are doing wayward chanting. Or in a reading also, study also, we have many other material motivation. We don't love what we are reading. We are not loving the reading service, study service. We are doing it because someone asked us to do, or we are doing it with some scholarly mentality, or we are doing it with the motive of I have to go and preach here, I have to go to preach there. That is the motive with which here we are reading. So all these are imperfections in study service, right? When we have all these materially motivated things coming in the way, then that service also will be mixed, mixed with unwanted desires, anarthas. And these three things, avipakva, kashayanam, yoginam. This is the reason after some time we get attracted to other things. Because devotional service, we also come with certain amount of eagerness for enjoyment. I want this enjoyment. After some time, Krishna will stop that enjoyment, material, the enjoyment which we are enjoying. So he'll say, hey, I was having this enjoyment all these years. Then I look around here and there, my material life was better than spiritual life. Let me go back. So that's how they go. But then again, the advantage is Mukunda Sevi Anyavadanga Samsrutim. Smaran Mukundangri Upagugana Punar. Vihatu Michen Narasagraho Janaha. That Rasagraha, he has tasted that rasa, whether Pakwa or Avipakwa. He tasted it once. He will always be meditating. Smaran Mukundangri. Punar, again and again. We will go around searching. Like Puranjana is also going around searching for happiness. Like that, people after leaving Krishna consciousness also will go out for searching happiness. But they will not get. They will keep thinking that in the heart of hearts, they will keep thinking, this is this alcohol, this sharab, it's all nice giving thing, but then it is not the same taste as our what is a drink you give here? Varuni, yeah? What drink? Huh? Ragi, yeah, whatever. It is not the same as that drink I had in NVCC. So they have that at the bottom of the heart. They'll keep thinking. Smaran Mukund Angri. They tasted the lotus feet of Krishna. Mukunda's angry. Upaguhanam Punar. Again and again. Vihatu Michen. You don't want to. When he is asking, when will I get it again? I am looking forward to that. Narasagraho Janaha. Huh? Sorry, Prabhu? Balam rice. What is that?
After some days they leave, but whatever they got is some special rice. Balam rice.
They won't get upset. Yeah. Wherever you go, you spend 500,000 rupees and get a pastry or something outside. Same thing you get it here. When come on Balram Jayanti or Janmashtami, all the offered cakes are there. I don't know why devotees want to leave Brahmacharya ashram. I mean, the ashram here, Brahmacharya ashram means because all the cakes are available there only. Especially, this festival days like Nityananda Trayodasi or our Gaur Purnima and all, special cakes are coming. Of course, Grasthas also get, but what I mean is, when you serve, what the opulence that you get here, that is what Smaran Mukundangri, Upagohanam Punar. I have seen so many people. They are like their life members, or they are just coming for vacation to our ISKCON temples. But one thing they will tell 100 problems about ISKCON. They are not this, they are not. They may say so many things. I am talking about general people, general mass outside. But one thing they will say is that the khichdi in ISKCON is the best khichdi I ever tasted. I go to Janmashtami, stand in the queue just to get that one khichdi plate. I don't know where is that magic coming from. Krishna has tested it. That is why it is so unique, isn't it? So this is a point here. So you got it, Prabhu, why people are going back. It is maybe because of that past karma coming to affect them. Or as I told, the devotional service also, it has to be fairy enough to burn those past karmas and our material desires. If it is not fairy enough, then they will grow and the fire will be put off. But again, we should not think others to be like we cannot ignore them, or we cannot be neglectful of them, because they are just going on a vacation. They've just gone on a vacation. They will come back. Maybe before, in front of our eyes or no, but they will definitely come back. That is why this verse is very important. What is that? Katanchana Vrajen. Mukunda Sevi Anyavadanga Samsrutim. Smaran Mukundangri Upaguhana Punar. Vihatumit Navai Jano Jatu Katanchana Vrajen. 1:5:19. Note this verse down. This is the best verse for encouragement. 1:5:19. Navai Jano Jatu Katanchana Vrajen. Mukunda Sevi Anyavadanga Samsrutim. Smaran Mukundangri Upaguhanam Punar Vihatumichen Narasagraho Janaha. Was Rasagraha means who was released to the mellow, the taste. Those people, they will never Vihatumichen, they will never want to give it up again. They will only keep remembering the ecstasy again and again. Okay, so let's move on. Now, Prabhupada is saying this beautifully. Who was reading the purport? Can you read the purport, Prabhu? The 4:26:11.
Yes.
No. 2-3 lines only. King Purajana returning home is indicative.
King Purandara's returning home is indicative of man's returning to his original consciousness, known as Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is absolutely necessary for one who has committed a lot of
We
sinful
read that
activities,
time. Sorry,
especially killing animals or hunting in the forest.
see, I forgot. We were focusing on that absolutely necessary part. No? So you now got an idea how to pick up the key words from Prabhupada's thing and meditate on it. Now that one word, phrase of Prabhupada, absolutely necessary, gave rise to a philosophical understanding. What are those two things that the special, unique quality, monopoly of, I would say monopoly of Krishna consciousness? Again, there is no other process. Sorry? Yeah, there is no other process is as powerful as Krishna consciousness to remove the sinful activity. Second, completely uprooting the sinful act is only possible so that it will not occur again is possible only through Krishna consciousness. That bija, what is that? That weeds. You'd say the weeds. Bija of the weeds will never come up again at all. There is a beautiful verse in 10th canto, Bhajita Katita Hi Dana. The seed is boiled and put on the sun, then fried. After that, you sow into the land, will it sprout up again? So Krishna consciousness is like that. All our desires will be boiled and burnt. Barjita, type Barjita. Barjita. Yeah. No, you go to the verse. It will be in 10th canto. Barjita only. No, correct only, Prabhu. Not we, Barjita, correct only. Barjita. Type it. Just go to the hit list. Just you say, okay, that hit list will be there, no? That 3 is showing, no? Go to that. Why it is not showing up? Kwatita. Type Kwatita. KVA TITA. VA TITA. THATA. There it is. Kwatita. On the top, little above. Oh, KVA THATA. You put L. That's the verse. 10:22. Yeah. Namai aveshita diyam kamah kamaya kalpate bharjita kwatita dana prayo bijaya neshate. Come down. 10:22-26. Beautiful verse this is.
The desire of those who fix their minds on me does not lead to material desire for sense gratification. Just as barley corns burned by the sun and then cooked can no longer grow into new sprouts.
Very nice example, no? Barley corns, you bake it in the sun and then you boil it also. There's no way it is going to sprout. So our desires are like that. Na mai aveshita diyam. Kama kamaya kalpate. Your avesh, your diya, your intelligence is fully absorbed, fully dedicated to Krishna, then the desires will not sprout at all. Right? The reason why people go away is because it's not fully absorbed. Fully absorbed means no other fruitive expectations. I don't care what I am getting out of it. I just want to serve you. That's all. That level. Okay, let's go to the next one. Atmanam arhayam chakre dhupalepa sragadibhi sadvalankrita sarvango mahishyam adadhe manah.
After this, King Purusana decorated his body with suitable ornaments. He also smeared scented sandalwood pulp over his body and put on flower garlands. In this way, he became completely refreshed. After this, he began to search out his queen.
But you see, if you read this translation, it is just like a person just getting ready, taking a bath, dressing nicely, and going to see his wife queen. But you see the purport; it is out of the world purport. Can one of you read it?
When a man comes into good consciousness and accepts a saintly person as a spiritual master, he hears many Vedic instructions in the form of philosophy, stories, narrations about great devotees, and transactions between God and his devotees. In this way, a man becomes refreshed in mind, exactly like a person who smears scented sandalwood pulp all over his body and decorates himself with
It's
ornaments.
so sweet, no? How Prabhupada is taking it in a different, totally in a different direction. Please continue, Prabhu.
These decorations may be compared to knowledge of religion and the self.
This is very nice. So it is actually alankrita. Huh? Where is that? Sadhu alankrita sarvango. Actually, sadhu word is two meanings Prabhupada has given. Saintly, beautifully. Here it may represent beautifully, but Prabhupada has taken the saintly meaning for the purport. Right? And actually speaking, when we become saintly in our behavior, we become beautiful in the eyes of others. Beautiful not in terms of handsome and those things, but that's what. What is that verse? A cuckoo is beautiful by its voice, it is singing. An ugly person is beautiful by his knowledge. What is that? A Brahmana is beautified by his forgiveness quality. A woman is beautified by her chastity. So beauty is not this just a look beauty. Beauty is the special quality that you have, right? Sadhu alankrita actually is a very beautiful thing, because as devotees, we cannot claim to be like, I am so and so handsome weightlifter and this and that. Frankly speaking, but the thing is, you put on the tilak, and when people see you, they say you look very transcendental, right? Isn't it? They don't say. They actually feel it when they see, because the moment we bring Krishna in our heart, into Maya Aveshita Diyam, in our mind and our heart, Krishna is there. We become beautiful to the beholders who are seeing us. And Prabhupada is, and again, this beauty is because of our conviction and our knowledge. And what is the thing that Prabhupada is saying here? Compared to the knowledge of the religion and the self. The moment we have the knowledge of our dharma and our religious self, Atma and all, we become very pacified. Frankly speaking, we only think that we are agitated sometimes. But the outside world, they see that, hey, you are agitated maybe, but you are not even 10% of what the other people are. So you are definitely much better than the others. You got it. So they feel that they are always surrounded by completely 100% agitated people. When they come to the temple, you must be like in the temple, you may be moving on some service, and somebody may not be doing the service properly, and he might have been cursing, scolding you. Prabhu, what is this? You cannot keep the broom on the side. See how it is hitting me like that. Then you might be thinking, what is this? Yeah, this guy, always this Prabhuji is scolding me. Like that, you will be walking and coming. you will be disturbed. But when you're coming, that person who encountered big Pandora box full of disturbance, he will come and say, he looks very saintly. And then Hare Krishna Prabhu, like that, he'll be asking you, talk to you. Jai Shri Krishna, I want to talk to him. You will be like coming with mood out. Thinking, why this guy is telling me, say, Prabhu, you are looking so nice. Then you will see him. So how, that's why Maharaj always used to say one very interesting thing. What is that you would say? A half-baked devotee is still better than a full-fledged karmi. He said that. No, what do you call it? A neophyte devotee or a beginner, someone if a devotee, practicing devotee who may be failed in a spiritual life is much, much better than a karmi who is successful in his material life. So that is why we don't understand how much we are this knowledge that we are every day sitting in the Bhagavatam class, attending Mangalarti, going around serving, seeing smiling faces around. All these things actually sadhu alankrita. It is decorating us. We have to be very thankful to Prabhupada for that. Right? So let's continue. Very beautiful thing here.
Through such knowledge, one becomes detached from the materialistic way of life and engages himself in always hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and other Vedic literatures. The word sadhu alankrita used in this verse indicates that one must be absorbed in knowledge gathered from the instructions of saintly persons.
See, sadhu alankrita. You, by taking the association of sadhus, we become beautiful. This is the alankar for us. Nice, not just putting around some golden this, golden that, it's of no use. For so much so that even, what is that shloka? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sango Pangastra Parshadam. Yajna Sankirtare Prayas. Krishna Varnam Tushaka Krishnam. Sango Panga Astra Parshadam. Yajna Sankirtane Prayar Yajantihi Sumedasaha. He is coming with this all associates, paraphernalias and all. That is what makes him even more beautiful. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is beautiful on his own, transcendentally beautiful on his own. But is even more beautiful when you see in that dancing pose in the Panchatattva, isn't it? And he is with his associates. So that is the beautiful point here. Please continue, Prabhu.
Just as King Purundan began to search out his better half, the queen, one who is decorated with knowledge and instructions from saintly persons should try to search out his original consciousness, Krishna consciousness. One cannot return to Krishna consciousness unless he is favored by the instructions of a saintly person. Therefore, Srila Narottam Das Thakur sings, Sadhu Shastra Guru Vakya Chittete Koriya Aikya. If we want to become saintly persons, or if we want to return to our original Krishna consciousness, we must associate with Sadhu, a saintly person, Shastra, authoritative Vedic literature, and Guru, a bona fide spiritual master. This is the process.
So, okay, now he is beginning to searching for the queen. In other words, begin to search for the intelligence. So, the intelligence is what gives us the happiness, really. If with the intelligence only we can be actually happy. That intelligence is not only on Shastra. Somebody may be very intelligent in cooking. Somebody may be very intelligent in drawing, some painting. Everything is intelligence. But if you have some type of intelligence, you feel happy about it. Because that is the way, with the intelligence only you can serve. Right? Without intelligence, how can you serve? How will you serve? Even to broom the floor, you need to have the intelligence of how to broom. Right? You will feel happy by engaging that intelligence. So, intelligence in seva. Now, how nicely Prabhupada has brought this, somebody just decorating himself and searching for his queen to searching for more Krishna consciousness. Right? This is Prabhupada. How beautiful this purport is. You can, actually speaking, you can just skip all the translations and read only the purports in these chapters. Just kidding, because I mean to say, you will not find any connection between the relation between the two, but Prabhupada is running a parallel track here. There is one track there, there is one track here. Um, have you gone through this Yaksha Prashna book, Yaksha Prashna episode in Mahabharata? You haven't? The Yaksha asking questions to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yesterday also we read that, no, that Ahani Ahani Bhutani. But like what is more heavier than the earth? What is more fleeter than wind? Many questions he will ask, right? You will see that all these questions Yudhishthira Maharaj will give totally out of the box answers. And there will be two meanings to that. One is a surfacial meaning, another is the deep meaning. That is how Bhagavatam, this chapter is also. If you can appreciate that, you will appreciate this. Because Narad Muni is not talking about just some Bollywood story here. That's how it looks like. If you don't understand the real meaning, it will look like a Bollywood story, movie or something, right? But see how beautifully Prabhupada has taken out. Just imagine Prabhupada is a Grihastha, and he was not having a favorable family, which means whatever he does, he has to do it all alone. His wife was not helping him in this thing. On the other contrary, it was opposite side. And he didn't have any great association of his godbrothers and all. He had a few, but not so much as thing. And not so much of association with spiritual master also. Right? And managing a pharmacy and children. And top of it, his parents and everything put together. Where would he have had the time to learn Sanskrit, first of all? And where would he have had the time to understand these deep meanings? Definitely, right? We think through this. He had written all these things in the beginning days of Krishna consciousness. Fourth canto, fifth canto and all were like 69, 68, 69, around that time, where things were like growing like anything. Starting to grow very, very rapidly. And he had to travel and he had to write letters to all those people those days, not like WhatsApp message and SMS. He had to physically write the letters and it will reach 1 week later. By the time that devotee would have gone somewhere else, or that devotee would have written some letter which would have come later. Imagine the kind of challenge that he had while writing this. That's why these are like the greatest treasure we have with us. Prabhupada's words, Prabhupada's Vani. There is no other greater treasure. You can leave anything and everything in this world, but never leave Prabhupada's books. Otherwise, this particular purport, when you read, it's completely philosophically, it's so enriching for us. Right? Where he would have learned these things? To write Dyuman means sun, then the Kadyota, ear, then there is one Avirmukha, all those things, how it is connected. And these chapters at least are story that get to that universe, structure of the universe, or the creation of the elements, 26 elements and all those things. Absolutely inconceivable that is. How Prabhupada has written this. Right? So you just fall in love with Prabhupada's purports. Whether you understand or not doesn't matter. Right? You love ice cream. You don't care how it is made. You love Rasgulla. You don't care how it is made. Even if you know how to make it, only if the ingredients are available, you can make it. Correct? Why waste your time? Just enjoy. So here, we just enjoy the purports like this. It doesn't matter. It takes 1 hour to read one purport, 2 hours to read 2 purport. Doesn't matter. Just enjoy. One purport, if you practice it, our life is successful. Right? Let's go further. Dripto hrishta sudriptascha kandarpa krishta manasaha na vyachashta vararoham grihinim grihamedinim.
After taking his dinner and having his thirst and hunger satisfied, King Puranjan felt some joy within his heart. Instead of being elevated to a higher consciousness, he became captivated by Cupid and was moved by a desire to find his wife, who kept him satisfied in his household life.
So this is the this verse. Prabhupada is highlighting on the nice thing about taking sattvic ahar. When a person is, Prabhupada is writing, the first few lines you can probably read.
This verse is significant for those desiring to elevate themselves to a higher level of Krishna consciousness. When a person is initiated by a spiritual master, he changes his habits and does not eat undesirable eatables or engage in the eating of meat or drinking of liquor, illicit sex, or gambling. Sattvika ahar, foodstuffs in the mode of goodness, are described in the Shastras as wheat, rice, vegetables, fruits, milk, sugar, and milk products. Simple food like rice, dal, chapati, vegetables, milk, and sugar constitute a balanced diet, but sometimes it is found that an initiated person, in the name of prasadam, eats very luxurious foodstuff.
This you should quote, you should keep it as all these other things about stuff your neck till your neck with prasadam and all those things. They are only for first time comers whoever, because they will not have anything. See, read further how Prabhupada is telling about the danger of eating too much.
Due to his past sinful life, he becomes attracted by Cupid and eats good food voraciously. It is clearly visible that when a neophyte in Krishna consciousness eats too much, he falls down.
See, it's a very strong statement. If we eat too much, then we fall down. Because the more you eat, the more you will sleep. Maharaj used to make a very interesting statement, which is very true. The more time you spend in the kitchen, more time you spend in the bathroom. It's very true. Eating, I mean, cooking and eating. The more time you spend, all variety of foodstuffs and everything, the more time you spend in the bathroom. So we can reduce, let's say, just eat some khichdi or some dal rice, it's enough. Prabhupada has given exactly one menu also, what has to be taken. All these other items, once in a while you can have pastry, pizza, pasta, whatever, once in a while maybe. But you should not be addicted to all those stuff. And not, what is that? Of course, as a joking way, Amam Lila Prabhu says, noodle, pizza, pasta, goloka rasta. You heard that? He has made that as a slogan in Dwarka. I don't know if you heard this. Noodles, pizza, pasta, goloka rasta. Narakarasta. Because the children, for them, they all are like very loudly they chant this. But then once in a while for the children, maybe, you give. But then we should not be addicted to that. Because as we grow older, our digestive system, everything goes through low. So we got to be very careful in not letting this thing come in between us and our morning programs and all that. Please continue, Prabhu.
Instead of being elevated to pure Krishna consciousness, he becomes attracted by Cupid. The so-called brahmachari becomes agitated by women, and the Banaprasthas may again become captivated into having sex with his wife. Or
it is not only for brahmacharis, for all categories.
Or he may begin to search out another wife.
You begin to search out how true this is. We, in the name of Krishna consciousness, people just go around, and even there sometimes they used to tell Prabhupada that Prabhupada, I don't like this girl, I want another girl. They used to tell Prabhupada had to write letters to them. No, please stick to one wife, don't change. Then he will give some other reason. This is like that, that is like that. The main problem is when you are attracted to another girl, everything that the current wife does will be fault for you. Then it becomes like a good life also will become like a horrible life for you. For married life, I meant to say. See, please read further, Prabhu.
Or he may begin to search out another wife. Due to some sentiment, he may give up his own wife and come into the association of devotees and a spiritual master. But due to his past sinful life, he cannot stay.
See, these things are happening around that time. So Prabhupada is putting his anguish in the purports. And even now it has become even more visible and widespread. isn't it? Because the genuine taste for Krishna consciousness is not there. We are looking for, I want to achieve, in 4 years, I want to become like this. In 10 years, I want to become like this. Like in a corporate world, how we have certain grades and things, positions, we imaginarily put the same thing in our life also. I am 30 years now. By 40, I should be get into sannyas ashram 40, 45. Then I will go around the world to preach. For what? I want to preach because so that I will gain a lot more followers. I will become. This is the thing. It's not with karuna. Karunaya ahanai. They don't do it out of karuna. I want to blow to my profile. I want to become famous all over the world. That is only the reason for our. Otherwise, frankly speaking, Prabhus, if we are actually having this taste for Bhagavatam, taste means we experience the effect of Bhagavatam in our life, the transformation that is bringing on in our life. We will not care one person is sitting or 100% is sitting. We will just go and give that to them so that their life is fixed with Bhagavatam. That's all. You don't look at others. Hey, he is Radhesham Prabhu is distributing 800 Bhagavatam sets. I have to also distribute 1,000 Bhagavatam sets. This doesn't go by numbers. You just put your heart. If there is one person or 1,000, Narada Muni was always preaching to single persons. Only once or twice he had to deal with all these Haryashwas or Prachetas. That's all. Only two, 3 instances. Otherwise, Prahlad is alone. In fact, that not even come out. It is inside only. When the child didn't even come out, inside only is preaching. And the mother is always sleeping. But he was continuously preaching because inside the boy is hearing. Prahlad is also one. Chitraketu is one. Priyavrata is one. Prachinabarhi is one. Everybody is one only. But because of the purity of the Narada Muni's consciousness, even after millions of years, thousands and thousands of people are relishing it. Right? If we go with this attitude that, hey, I need 1,000 people to sit in front of me before I give a class, we maninaha, when we are all manis, we are thinking we are great people. Then 1,000 people may come, but those 1,000 people may not enjoy. They may enjoy your jokes, they may enjoy your some entertaining points, but they will not take it as a lifetime investment. Your instruction. They will not take it for their life. They will not take Bhagavatam as life. What is more important? You take Bhagavatam as your lifetime companion, and you help others also. Because how nice instructions Prabhupada is revealing through these verses. Right? We should be so much grateful to Prabhupada. Let's go further.
Instead of being elevated to Krishna consciousness, he falls down, being attracted by Cupid, and takes to another wife for sex enjoyment. The fall of the neophyte devotee from the path of Krishna consciousness down to material life is described in Srimad Bhagavatam.
This shloka, we know this shloka. Tyaktva swadharmam charanam bhujam harer bhajan napakko tapate tato yadi yatra kava bhadram abhudamushyakim ovartha apto bhajatam swadharmataha.
This indicates that although a neophyte devotee may fall down from the path of Krishna consciousness due to his immaturity, his service to Krishna never goes in vain. However, a person who remains steadfast in his family duty or so-called social or family obligation, but does not take to Krishna consciousness, receives no profit. One who comes to the Krishna consciousness must be very cautious and refrain from prohibited activities, as defined by Rupa Goswami in his Upadesamrit.
Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangascha laulyamcha shadbir bhaktir vinashyati.
A neophyte devotee should neither eat too much nor collect more money than necessary. Eating too much or collecting too much is called atyahara. For such atyahara, one must endeavor very much. This is called prayas. Superficially, one may show himself to be very much faithful to the rules and regulations, but at the same time not be fixed in the regulative principles. This is called niyama agraha. By mixing with undesirable persons or janasanga, one becomes tainted with lust and greed and falls down from the path of devotional service.
Prabhupada is giving us a real caution warning here. Right? So that's why it's very, very important to wholeheartedly take to the spiritual master's instructions. Let's read the next one. Anta purastriyo pruchat. Any questions before we go further? Not from those online also, no? We'll continue. Anta purastriyo pruchat vimana iva vedishat apivyah kushalam rama seshwarinam yatah pura.
At that time, King Puranjana was a little anxious, and he inquired from the household women, "My dear beautiful women, are you and your mistress all very happy like before or not?"
This purport is also very sweet.
In this verse, the word Vedishat indicates King Prachni Barhi. When a man becomes refreshed by association with devotees and awakes to Krishna consciousness, he consults the activities of his mind, namely thinking, feeling, and willing, and decides whether he should return to his material activities or stay steady in spiritual consciousness. The word Kushalam refers to that which is auspicious. One can make his home perfectly auspicious when he engages in devotional service to Lord Vishnu. When one is engaged in activities other than Vishnu Bhakti, or in other words, when one is engaged in material activities, he is always filled with anxieties. A sane man should consult his mind, its thinking, feeling, and willing processes, and decide how these processes should be utilized. If one always thinks of Krishna, feels how to serve him, and wills to execute the order of Krishna, it should be known that he has taken good instructions from his intelligence, which is called the mother. Although the king was refreshed, he nonetheless inquired about his wife. Thus, he was consulting, thinking, and willing to how he could return to a steady good consciousness. The mind may suggest that by Vishaya Bhoga or sense enjoyment, one can become happy. But when one becomes advanced in Krishna consciousness, he does not derive happiness from material activities. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishva nivartate. The embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, though the taste for sense object remains. But ceasing such engagements by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness. One cannot be unattached to the sense objects unless he finds better engagement in devotional service. Param drishva nivartate. One can cease from material activities only when one actually engages in devotional.
Beautiful line, no? Only when one actually engages. This actually word is very important. We are actually running the race in the competition. Otherwise, we are just doing trial. Trial, no? So it will not be counted for with all our actually and not actually is actually, this is a very big difference is there. It looks like devotional service, but it is not. So actual devotional service means that devotional service which is acknowledged by the and recognized or accepted by Guru and Krishna. Any other devotional service which we do, we may be doing, we may be happy, but if they are not pleased with it, it is not actual devotional service. Only when our devotional service is pleasing to Guru and Krishna, can we be inspired to do more devotional service. That is what is called actual devotional service. You understand? Actual devotional service means it should lead to more devotions, more taste for, more and more taste, param drishva nivartate, by which you get more taste for devotional service, and so that the lower taste automatically goes away. But if you are like the material mind is giving some thing that leave it, go, let's enjoy a little bit, that means we have not yet done actual devotional service. That's the thing. Very strong point this Prabhupada is making here. Okay, let's go further. Na tatai tarhi rochante griheshu griha sampadaha yadi na syad grihe mata patni va pati devata vyange ratha iva prajnyaha ko namasita dinavat.
Head.
Before we go, I have a question. Why is Prabhupada saying here a sane man should consult his mind, its thinking, feeling, and willing processes, and decide how these processes should be utilized?
Like dovetailing our talents, services.
Dovetailing?
Like thinking, feeling, willing, the consulting his mind, I'm thinking that all we will have certain likings or certain way in which we want to do something. So we can engage it in Krishna service after consulting with the superiors.
Right. Any other points? You're right. We just want to hear some.
The previous line, Prabhupada mentioned that when one is engaged in activities other than Vishnu Bhakti, or in other words, when one is engaged in material activities, he is always filled with anxiety. So if we are engaged in any materialistic activity, then anxiety will be there. So we have to check what feelings we are getting.
But no, you read the previous line, but this line you read again carefully.
A sane man should consult his mind, its thinking, feeling, and willing processes, and decide how these processes should be utilized. So if he is thinking about Krishna and he's feeling, he's practicing proper Krishna consciousness, then he will be blissfully situated.
Correct, Prabhu, but you see why he is saying consult his mind. Yes, Prabhu.
Because till the time we are not completely purified, most of the time we go whatever our mind says. So, like we follow the mind most of the time. So that's why Prabhupada is saying that we should consult our mind, thinking, feeling, and willing. All these three should be engaged in devotional service.
Now I am asking, like, mind is always tricky, no? So, that's the word I wanted. See, Prabhupada is very clearly saying a sane man should consult his mind. Sane man means saintly man. Correct? That's why in the next line, what he's saying, if one always thinks of Krishna, feels how to serve him, and wills to execute the order of Krishna, it should be known that he has taken good instruction from his intelligence. So, a sane man is one who is always thinking, feeling, and willing for serving Krishna. Right? So, that thinking, feeling, and willing, which are the processes or the activities of the mind, the sane man is already engaging it in Krishna. So, the mind is already a friend. That Bhagavatam verse, no? What is that verse? Bhagavad Gita verse. Where is mind is the friend to Bandhur Atmatmanastasya Atmanam Ripuratmanaha. What is that? What is the English translation for that? Conquer the mind, his mind is his friend. So you can always consult your friend. So a sane man, by his always being eager for serving Krishna, the desire, feeling, thinking, feeling, willing, everything, is engaged in Krishna service. So obviously you can consult. But an insane man, if he consults, he will be finished. The mind will drag him. It's the enemy. He has not controlled. Hiranyakashipu was always consulting his mind. But that mind was his enemy. So he was always taken in the wrong direction. My mind was always taking him in the wrong direction. You got it? See how true this words Prabhupada. He never said a man should consult. He said a sane man should consult. So it goes in line with our Bhagavad Gita. Because for a sane man, it is more important to consult his mind for service. You get what I'm saying? See, suppose somebody is giving a class. You're all giving classes. All of us are giving classes. While giving class, don't you think you are thinking? Don't you think you are feeling and willing and those things are happening there? But because our consciousness is fully engaged in meditating on this subject matter, and to learn ourselves and also to help others and understanding the same thing with our whatever realization we have. So at that time, our thinking of the mind is fully in Krishna consciousness. So it is our friend. So that is why during the process of the class or discussion, we don't go here and there getting diverted. I don't go into, suddenly I'm not asking about some election result, suddenly I'm not asking about some score in a match or some other weather or something. You are fully absorbed in this. That is why we are sane at that time. Santas are called sane, right? Saintly. So that is why we should consult. We should definitely consult. Here, our Puranjana is consulting is what are the household women. They are his mind kind of that kind of a thing. So he's asking how everything is happy. What can I do? Like that he's asking. They are his servants. Because he has kept them happy or are in the proper consciousness, they are serving him always. Same way our mind also, if you always keep it in the service of Krishna, it will be your friend. You always want to serve you in the right way. Otherwise, my mind becomes your boss. You have to serve whatever mind is asking, demanding. Okay, let's go to the next verse here. So is it clear, Prabhu? Was that who was the one who answered that? Raghav Prabhu,
Yes.
is that
Yes.
any questions, feel free to ask Prabhus. Or comments also. Let's go further. Na tathai tarhi rochante griheshu griha sampadah yadi na syad grihe mata patni va pati devata vyange ratha iva prajnah ko namasita dinavat.
King Puranjana said, I do not understand why my household paraphernalia does not attract me as before. I think that if there is neither a mother nor devoted wife at home, the home is like a chariot without wheels. Where is the fool? Where is the fool who sit down on such a unworkable chariot?
So Prabhupada is quoting that famous verse, Mata yasya grihe nasti, bharya cha priyavadini, aranyam tena gantavyam yatha aranyam tagriham. There's no difference between house and forest where you don't have a mother or pleasing wife at home. It's of no thing. Actually, it is very, it's from a materialistic point of view also, it's a very sobering truth, that a home should have at least a mother or a daughter or a wife who can bring some sanity in our life. They are not by nature, mothers, women are very simple at heart. So that Santa or the saintliness or goodness is there. Otherwise, only we are there means we'll be fully passionate. We will not have the what you call, only men are there, then it will be chaos. I remember Param Puja Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj was giving a class and he was going to a house of two young boys for a class in the morning, just to give a class, not a big crowd, and just for a few people. And their mother had passed away very recently, that just 6 months or 4 or 5 months or so before. At that time, I'm saying. And father was old and he was retired. So these two boys were like in their colleges or just started working, whatever. So when Maharaj went there, he saw that the whole house was like kind of chaotic. Everything was scattered everywhere around. And these two boys also, though they are devotees, they didn't have the basic thing that when sannyasi comes, we should arrange things properly also. But because they were known to Maharaj for a long time, he didn't, and also he was worried about them. They would have already feeling bad about losing their mother. So I don't want to scold them now. So, but in the class, after the class, he came back and he was telling us later that this is what happens when a woman is not at home. The cleanliness will not be maintained. It will not be organized properly, and it will all be just chaotic, right? By nature, also, men we all know, we just don't care. what color to put, what is these things. No, not too much and all. And wherever we go, we just go. We don't take time to get ready. We don't really look at too much of our what is all this and all that. So by nature, we are disorganized. Except for a few cases, exceptional cases. But by nature, men are disorganized in their life. So when women come, when they're at home, they are more organized and keep things in a very disciplined way. So that is there in every house, isn't it? And they bring the discipline in the children's life also. And children also, they look for the love of the mother a lot more to while growing, basically. It's a psychological thing also. That's why Chanakya is here specifically telling mother or wife. Wife means for young children and all, they cannot say, I don't have a wife. So but they do have mothers, right? So it's a very important thing. Let's go further. And Prabhupada is highlighting something very beautiful here. Please read the lines after the translation.
Actually, a woman is supposed to be be the energy.
No. The lines before that, the real Mata.
The real Mata or mother is devotional service to the Lord.
See, Prabhupada is comparing mother to the devotional service to the Lord. That love that mother gives, or the care and affection, the same thing that Bhakti Devi also gives. Such a nice line, no? Such a nice connection.
And the real Patni or devoted wife is a wife who helps her husband execute religious principle in devotional service. These two things are required for a happy.
So, son, even after marriage, should keep mother happy. And the wife should help the son or the husband in keeping that mother happy. That is what it means here. Right? Devotional service is the mother. Son, yes, you have a question, Prabhu? So in other words, wife is the intelligence here. Right? The Atma is there. For Atma, the mother is devotional service and the wife is the intelligence. So a man should take the help of the intelligence and mind to keep Bhakti Devi happy. Got it? How nice the correlation is. And this correlation is something which Prabhupada is bringing out. It is not in the slokas. Because mother doesn't come, mother is coming here, but mother is not in any way connected with the devotional service in the translation. Let's read further.
Actually,
so okay, these things we can take it forward. Prabhupada is telling that when a good wife is not there, you better take sannyas. Sorry, what is that? He's saying this. He's saying, if a man has a good mother or a good wife, there is no need of taking sannyas. That is, unless it is absolutely necessary, as it was for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Very nice, no, Prabhupada? He talks about Aranyam Tena Gantavya, means you have to go to the forest. So, really nice. But actually speaking, this verse is only applicable for those who are genuinely attracted to devotional service. Many times we just come, many of our people tell them, my wife is horrible, I want to take sannyas. Wife horrible doesn't mean you have to take sannyas. Whether you are genuinely attached to devotional service. Once what happened, Mahashnu Maharaj was there in Rajkot. He was relating this thing a little later to us. One man was there, came. He was just a general man who was first time coming to the temple. He came and Maharaj was sitting around with few people and he was giving class, so he had garland. So this person also came and sat down and he was hearing the class. After the class was over, he came to talk to Maharaj. He was like middle-aged man, maybe crossed 50 plus, 50, 55, whatever. So he told Maharaj, Maharaj, mujhe sannyas lena hai. He has not even started chanting. He is not, just the first time he is coming. Maharaj said, hey, so nice. Where are you? What are you doing? And few things he asked and said, okay, you keep coming, we will see. You just come to the temple for some time and then we will see. He said, no, मुझे अभी संन्यास लेना है. अभी बिल्कुल अभी संन्यास लेना है. I'm telling you, no, come regularly. After some time, we will do it. Then he said, I want to come tomorrow itself. Okay, I will come tomorrow itself. Please come tomorrow itself. You can come and stay. But I want sannyas at any cost. He said, okay, we'll give. Don't worry. Then he said, but I have only one requirement. In my home, my wife makes daily at 8 o'clock. I get nice ghee rotis, ghee dipped rotis with 3 dots on the top, 3 brown dots on the top, 2 brown dots on the bottom. Then Maharaj said, if you get roti, you will consider yourself lucky here. What do you mean by ghee dipped roti and all? Roti itself will not be available for you. And then he said, okay, I will somehow come. I accepted that. And he said then, okay, I am going now. But did you see my wife anywhere? His wife had come with him. He was just roaming around. And then, did you see my wife anywhere? Then Maharaj said, am I here your security guard to watch where your wife is going or make sure she's not lost? Man, you are not given up your attachment for your wife yet, your chapati yet, and you want to come to sannyas? You don't know what sannyas is. Sannyas means just 4 walls and you. You should be happy with that. You just saw me with garland and you thought if you are sannyas, automatically you will get name and fame, followers, and you come here. Sannyas means only 4 walls and you should be happy in that condition. And genuinely, really Maharaj lived like that in his early days. He would love being with Bhagavatam. He would just hate if he had to do, I mean, of course, apart from service, if he had to go anywhere else or something, he would not want at all. He would just want. That love for Bhagavatam is what carried him all over in world tours and became so famous in ISKCON also. So unless you have a genuine taste for Prabhupada's Shastras, you cannot talk about sannyas, vanaprastha, giving up wife and all those things. Those are all coming out of, as Prabhupada said earlier, that you have got attraction to some other girl, so you have lost interest for this current girl, current wife. This is what is the problem. One devotee was talking to me. He's a practicing devotee, not an initiate and all, but he was showing he's very sincere and all that. From the day one, he was telling, my wife is a problem, my wife is a problem, she is torturing, I want to take divorce like that. Then I told him, I have never seen your wife, but you are only telling this thing. Okay, there may be some truth in it. But you take to Krishna consciousness, you focus your time here. Anyway, you are not living with her, you are living alone. No, I want her, I can't tolerate, she is very tortured, she doesn't respect my parents, all that. That's okay, you are staying away anyway, she is not with your parents. Let her stay wherever they are, you just continue for some time. Then he says, there is one girl from my school days, and I never kept in touch with her for more than 20 years. Now, after that, I met her after so many, more than 20 years, and I was shocked to hear that she has not married it. And I asked her, why you have not married? She said, because in my school days, I had a attraction for you, but you got married, so I didn't want to marry anyone else. So that's why I am staying unmarried now. So the cat is out of the bag now. So he's so he's telling, she is waiting for me for 25 years, but this lady, she is not accepting me. She is not respecting me at all. So why should I stay with this lady? She's sacrificed her whole life for me. I want to give life to her. Then I told him, now your rascaldom has come out. You are not, your wife is not the problem, your mind is the problem. This girl has occupied your mind. Man, you have child, you have in-laws, you have parents, and mother-in-law, father-in-law, wife, brother-in-law, everybody. And see how the mind is tricking. And he's Krishna and I'm chanting, I want to give life to a girl. This is how we cheat. and we spoil Prabhupada's name. Why can't you be happy with whoever you have? Right? Really crazy this is. So anyway, let's go further. Next verse. Kvavartate sa lalana majjantam yasanarnave yamam uddarate pragyam deepayanti pade pade.
Kindly let me know the whereabouts of that beautiful woman who always saves me when I am drowning in the ocean of anger, danger. By giving me good intelligence at every step, she always saves me.
So he is now remembering her. Right? When you stop your sinful activities, naturally you will be looking for your association of your intelligence. Good intelligence is Krishna conscious intelligence. Okay. See, you see the difference here. In the previous thing, this was always called, the wife was always called material intelligence. In the previous chapter, correct? In this chapter, it is continuously calls her good intelligence. Right? So you see the difference, because here he has completed his sinful activities and is now coming to take the association of good intelligence. And when you give up the sinful activities and take the association of good intelligence, then naturally your devotional service will progress. But there is one step before that will come now in the next. Let's read the purport.
There is
Writes
no
very
dif-
nicely.
There is no difference between a good wife and good intelligence. One who possesses good intelligence can deliberate properly and save himself from many dangerous conditions. In material existence, there is danger at every step. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Padam Padam Yad Vipadam Natesham. This material world is not actually a place of residence for an intelligent person or a devotee, because here there is danger at every step. Vaikuntha is the real home for the devotee, for there is no anxiety and no danger. Good intelligence means becoming Krishna conscious.
Beautiful line, no? Good intelligence means becoming Krishna conscious.
In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, Krishnaye bhaje se bala chatur. Unless one is Krishna conscious, he cannot be called an intelligent person.
See, this is the beauty. A chaste wife or a good intelligence, she will keep you happy in family life. Naturally, normally, whatever is your thing, and she will straighten you also. Many times Maharaj would say that even a devotee, in a devotee couple, the husband is usually like the raw diamond. Raw diamond means it will not be polished or the smooth edges. And the wife is the diamond which will, because you can cut the diamond only with a diamond. So she is the one who can polish and shine and make it symmetric, whatever. So for a husband, a good intelligence, for a soul, a good intelligence is very helpful. For a living entity, good intelligence is as helpful as a chaste wife in a family. Because once the chaste wife is there, she will, whatever you is like, she will carefully think about what he will like, what he will do here. And even if he is coming in an upset mood, she will not show her agitation to him. She will be calm and quiet to make sure he is peaceful and he becomes pacified at home. Those things Prabhupada tells in the other purports also in Kardamamuni section and all that. No? So when such a chaste wife is there, the husband will not run around for other girls. He will not run around to, for other wives, other women. You see, so that is why good intelligence means Krishna consciousness, chaste. We don't run after anywhere else. And even after coming to Krishna consciousness also, we don't have to go anywhere else, this path, that path and all. Only Krishna, once you come to Krishna consciousness, that's it, finished. Please continue, Prabhu.
Herein we see that King Puranjana was searching after his good wife, who always helped him out of the dangerous situations that always occur in material existence. As already explained, a real wife is Dharma Patni, that is, a woman accepted in marriage by a ritualistic ceremony is called Dharma Patni, which signifies that she is accepted in terms of religious principles. Children born of Dharma Patni or a woman married according to religious principles inherit the property of the father. But children born of a woman who is not properly married do not inherit the father's property. The word Dharma Patni also refers to a chaste wife. A chaste wife is one who never had any connection with men before her marriage. Once a woman is given the freedom to mingle with all kinds of men in her youth, it is very difficult for her to keep chaste. She generally cannot remain chaste. When butter is brought into the proximity of fire, it melts. The woman is like fire, and man is like the butter. But if one gets a chaste wife accepted through a religious marriage ritual, she can be of a great help when one is threatened by the many dangerous situations of life. Actually, such a wife can become the source of all good intelligence. With such a good wife, the family's engagement in the devotional service of the Lord actually makes a home a grahastha ashram or a household dedicated to spiritual cultivation.
But in reality, don't keep searching for good wife. We will not get it. You will not, if you have plans to marry, whatever, don't search for good wife. Be good so that anybody who comes also become good by your association. Right? But again, from a man-woman point of view, woman who is very disciplined and obedient will help the man shape up. But when we are looking for that only, then we will end up, being too choosy. Like all the criteria should match. It will not work all the time. Krishna consciousness is enough. That's enough. There is nothing more beyond that. Because at the end of the day, their behavior depends on our behavior. I mean, on man's behavior. Man is very much responsible as much as the woman is responsible. So we are talking about Dharma Patni here. Maharaj used to say they are called Dharma Patni, not Kama Patni. We want to, because many times what men do is that they want to marry only to fulfill their sexual desires, sense gratification, that's all. So that becomes a polluted desire. The desire for the marriage itself is Kama Patni, becomes Kama Patni. Dharma Patni is the actual word. She is supposed to help us in executing our devotional service carefully. It's like this: spiritual master, husband, wife. Nice sequence. Husband obeys the spiritual master, follows his instruction. Wife obeys the husband, follows and serves him. So the line is complete. So the moment the husband breaks his thing, then he cannot demand the wife to obey him or serve him. He loses the qualification. He doesn't deserve to ask her for service anymore. So that is why it is very, very important. That connection is very important. As much as a wife should be obedient to the husband should be obedient to the spiritual master. Only then it can be a proper, complete grahastha life. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Rama uchuhu naranatha na janimas त्वत्प्रियाय व्यवस्यति भूतले निरवस्तारे शयानाम पश्य शत्रुहन.
All the women addressed the king. O master of the citizens, we do not know why your dear wife has taken on this sort of existence. O killer of enemies, kindly look. She is lying on the ground without bedding. We cannot understand why she is acting this way.
So please read the first paragraph.
When a person is devoid of devotional service or Vishnu Bhakti, he takes to many sinful activities. King Puranjana left home, neglected his own wife, and engaged himself in killing animals. This is the position of all materialistic men. They do not care for a married chaste wife. They take the wife only as an instrument for.
This is what this just now we are talking about it. Huh? See, Prabhupada has listened to us. He is listening to us constantly.
They take the wife only as an instrument for sense enjoyment, not as a means for devotional service. To have unrestricted sex life, the karmis work very hard. They have concluded that the best course is to have sex with any woman and simply pay the price for her, as though she were a mercantile commodity. Thus, they engage their energy in working very hard for such material acquisitions. Such materialistic people have lost their good intelligence. They must search out their intelligence within the heart. A person who does not have a chaste wife accepted by religious principles always has a bewildered intelligence. The wife of King Puranjana was lying on the ground because she was neglected by her husband. Actually, the woman must always be protected by her husband. We always speak the goddess of fortune as being placed on the chest of Narayana. In other words, the wife must remain embraced by her husband. Thus, he becomes beloved and well protected. Just as one saves his money and places under his own personal protection, one should similarly protect his wife by his own personal supervision. Just as intelligence is always within the heart, so a beloved chaste wife should always have her place on the chest of a good husband. This is the proper relationship between husband and wife. A wife is therefore called Ardhangini or half of the body. One cannot remain with only one leg, one hand, or only one side of the body. He must have two sides. Similarly, according to nature's way, husband and wife should live together. In the lower species of life, among birds and animals, it is seen that by nature's arrangement, the husband and wife live together.
Very interesting, huh? There is no divorce in birds family, animals family. They don't have all this thing. In fact, yesterday this story which is here in the current thing, running story in the Bhagavatam also, that Kulinga bird, that pigeon, is feeling so bad for the that wife, but to be the pigeon is killed by the hunter, no? So it's a very interesting thing. Yes, please continue, Prabhu.
It is similarly ideal in human life for the husband and wife to live together. The home should be a place for devotional service, and the wife should be chaste and accepted by ritualistic ceremony. In this way, one can become happy at home.
Beautiful lines. No? Home should be a place for devotional service. Such a nice line. See, these are so beautiful guidelines for Grahastha. If you want to take Grahastha seminar and all those things, everything you can take from Prabhupada's purport only. He is not only talking about sannyas, he is talking about Grahasthas also. There is no reason to go anywhere. He's talking about a good wife, good husband, how they should behave, how a husband should treat the wife. Everything, all the things are so nicely balanced in Prabhupada's purports. What you should do is just mark this paragraph and say Grahastha seminar. That's all. You write down in your notes. And then later, sometime they will ask you to take Grahastha seminar. You just take from this purport and hear it, read it out. That's enough. Prabhupada will speak. Very simple. Let's read the next one. Narada Uvacha Puranjana Sa Mahishim. Oh, sorry. It's 12:40, Prabhus. We'll take a break now. Narada is coming. So after the thing, we'll try to complete this chapter. We may end up only completing this chapter, but it's okay. We are enjoying this beautiful purpose. What happened? Okay, so start. Yeah. Where are we? Sorry? 17, huh? Yeah. Rama Uchuhu we did. Then we have to do Narada Uvacha, right? 18th verse. Narada Uvacha Puranjanasa Mahishim Nirikshya Bhuvi Tatsangonmathita Jnano Vaiklavyam Paramam Yayo.
The great sage Narad continued, My dear King Prajanbari, as soon as King Puranjana saw his queen lying on the ground, appearing like a mendicant, he immediately became bewildered.
This purport is very sweet. Please, can you read?
In this verse, the word avadhutam is especially significant, for it refers to a mendicant. who does not take care of his body. Since the queen was lying on the ground without bedding and proper dress, King Puranjana became very much aggrieved. In other words, he repented that he had neglected his intelligence and had engaged himself in the forest in killing animals. In other words, when one's good intelligence is separated or neglected, he fully engaged in sinful activities. Due to neglecting one's good intelligence or Krishna consciousness, one become bewildered and engage in sinful activities. Upon realizing this, a man become repentant. Such a repentance is described by Narottam Das Thakur.
Hari Hari Vipale Janam Gunain Manushya Janamapaya Radha Krishna Nabajiya Janiya Shuniya Vishakhainu.
Narottam Das Thakur says, herein says that he repent for having spoiled his human life and knowingly drunk poison by not being Krishna conscious. One willingly drinks the poison of material life. The purport is that one certainly become addicted to sinful activities when he become devoid of his good chaste wife or when he has lost his good sense and does not take to Krishna consciousness.
So I was telling you, no, there is one step that was missing before going to good intelligence. After you complete your sinful activities, finish your sinful activities, you get cleared of the thing, your mind, and then you go to the intelligence. At that time, you are thinking of the good intelligence, right? So, what was it that is missing there? Repentance. When we repent, we will go to the good intelligence and take shelter of it with a good attitude, with the right attitude. So that is why Prabhupada is focusing on this repentance word very much, because in the Jantu prayers, where the child prays, in the womb, it says a beautiful phrase, Atapyamana Hridaye Avasitam Namami. Atapyamana Hridaye Avasita means he is praying to the Lord who stays in the repentance heart. When we repent, the fire of that repentance burns that sinful tendency. So he had committed sins, but when he completed that sins and when he came searching for the association of the good intelligence, that is here the queen, that moment itself he starts repenting. Because searching for good intelligence means searching for Krishna consciousness. We are looking for good everywhere. That means you are searching for Krishna everywhere. You are searching for God. Good and God are very synonymous, right? So that is a beautiful thing about next verse. Also, we'll continue on that same point. Santvayan slakshnaya vacha hridayena viduyata preyasya sneha samrambha lingamatmani nabhyagat.
The king, with aggrieved mind, began to speak to his wife with very pleasing words. Although he was filled with regret and tried to pacify her, he could not see any symptom of anger caused by love within the heart of his beloved wife. The king very much regretted having left his queen and having gone to the forest to execute sinful activities. When a person regrets his sinful activities, the abandoning of Krishna consciousness and good intelligence, his path of deliverance from the path of material clutches is opened. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Parabhavas
tavad abodhajato yavanna jignasata atma tattvam.
When a person loses his Krishna consciousness and loses interest in self-realization, he must engage in sinful activities. All one's activities in the life devoid of Krishna consciousness simply lead to defeat and misuse of one's life. Naturally, one who comes to Krishna consciousness regrets his previous sinful activities in the human form. Only by this process can one be delivered from the clutches of ignorance or ignorance in materialistic life.
Very, very important point, Prabhus. Many times we don't realize the power of repentance. Actually, we many times are afraid of repenting. We feel that by repentance I will become disturbed, despondent, or get into depression. So we should not repent. Many times we take shelter of that thing. But one who genuinely repents for his past sinful activities. Or Prabhupada is saying here three things. See, when a person regrets his sinful activities, the abandoning of Krishna consciousness and good intelligence. Three things are there. One is sinful. You can regret the sinful activities in your past life and you can come. But after coming also, we will abandon Krishna consciousness. That also we should repent. Otherwise, you will never come back to Krishna consciousness. So when we genuinely repent, see, we will see in the case of Parikshit Maharaj also. Parikshit Maharaj Krishna consciousness started. He was already Krishna conscious, but his mercy, the mercy flowing from Srimad Bhagavatam started the moment Parikshit Maharaj repented for his act of putting the snake on the neck of Shamik Rishi. Until then, Srimad Bhagavatam was still waiting. But in order to repent for an activity, we should first of all accept that I am wrong. Only when you accept that I am wrong, I did a wrong thing, you can repent for it. You get the point? First of all, we should accept our mistake. Parikshit Maharaj Bhagavatam association started not when Sukadeva Goswami came in, but before itself in a subtle way it started. When on the way back from the forest he was accepting his mistake. And then they were repenting for it. He repents now, he accepts now that what did I do? I unnecessarily, that saintly person must be genuinely, we must have been meditating. I thought he was fake and I put this. What a horrible thing I have done being a king also. I set a very bad example. So for that he is telling, let my body, let my wealth, let my kingdom, everything be burnt. But let it not kill any of the innocent people and my family and all who are not involved in this. Let me take full ownership of it. That's what he's saying. In the beginning 19th chapter you go through. That's what first canto 19th chapter. That is the actual place where he expresses his repentance and accepting his mistake. So for us, one step before repentance is accepting the mistake. Without accepting my mistake, my repentance will not be true. And without repenting, I will not atone properly. And the real atonement is what? Krishna consciousness, devotional service. All other things are elephants bathing. That's what Sukadeva Goswami also says. Parikshit Maharaj also says that in this thing. Krishnangri sevyam adimanyamanaha, he says in the 19th chapter. There is no greater way of atonement than Krishnangri sevam. That is the greatest form of atonement as far as I am concerned. Before even Sukadeva Goswami comes, Parikshit Maharaj says this. This is a Mahabhagavata. He knew what is the right thing. So that is why this repentance is always highlighted very much. If only we have time, I will take you through the beautiful set of slokas where that repentance is highlighted in the 19th chapter. But maybe Krishna willing, we'll see tomorrow or day after if we have the time. Okay. Let's see the next one. 20, right? Anunyeta shanakair Vironunayako vidaha Pasparshapada yugalam Ahachotsangalalitam.
Because the king was very expert in flattery, he began to pacify his queen very slowly. First he touched her 2 feet, then embraced her nicely, seating her on his lap and began to speak as follows.
See, deliberate consideration. You are asking, no, Prabhu, how to find out keywords. This is a very interesting thing. One has to awaken Krishna consciousness by first regretting his past deeds. Prabhupada repeating that statement again, no? First repenting, regretting. Just as King Puranjana began to flatter his queen, one should, by deliberate consideration, raise himself to the platform of Krishna consciousness. Now, what is this flattering the queen imply? Queen is here intelligence. Correct? Flattering the queen means? Flattering the intelligence means?
Because intelligence in Krishna consciousness can be attained by mercy of sadhus and guru. So one should appreciate their mercy in one's life.
No, here he's talking about, he's not talking about sadhu, guru and all. Only queen. Queen means intelligence. So what is he doing? What do we mean? How do you connect this thing? Flattering the queen and deliberate consideration. Huh? Pious activity here. What is a pious activity here? Raise himself to the platform of Krishna consciousness. No pious activity comes into the play there. Directly devotional service. Here we are talking about good queen. Good queen means good intelligence. Good intelligence means that which is pleased with Krishna consciousness. Correct? When you flatter somebody, what do you do normally? You try to do that which is pleasing to them. No, what does that mean? Flatter means you're pacifying, flattering. Do whatever that person likes. That is flattering. No, whatever that person likes, you just do. Right? So good intelligence, what it wants Krishna consciousness. Correct? So first you regret, and then by deliberate consideration means intelligence, when used properly in Krishna consciousness, it will help you with deliberate consideration. Deliberate means what? Deliberate means, see, what is the function of intelligence? Rationalization, what is good, what is bad, segregating those things, correct? So when you look at something, okay, this will be favorable for my Krishna consciousness, or I can use this in so and so way in Krishna consciousness. This will be very much, this person will be very much pleased if I can give him the opportunity to engage in so and so seva. This is how the spiritual master does. No, spiritual master never thinks that I want to become famous and all these people should come and serve me in this way. I will give him some remuneration so that he will always stick with me. That is not how spiritual master works. A manager may work like that, but a spiritual master, how does he engages in the service of Krishna? Whichever personalities, whichever living entities he sees, he brings them to, he squeezes his mind to find out how to engage that person in a way so that naturally he will be flowing in his Krishna consciousness. It will help him also in Krishna consciousness. And he will help others also in Krishna consciousness. You understand? That is what the spiritual master sees. Okay, this person is physical service, he does a lot. Okay, let's engage him in cooking. Let's engage him in, say, go around and drive people around, things like that. So that way, he will also be naturally involved in his seva, and through that seva, he will also others without disturbing them. If you put him in a service which he is not comfortable with, then he also will get disturbed, he will disturb others also. Correct or not? So that same way, this intelligence, when you are utilizing it in Krishna consciousness, that intelligence will think, hey, this person, if I can engage this way, he will do nice Krishna consciousness. Oh, there are some nice rose flowers are available. Let's offer it to Krishna. Or let's offer it to Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Dam Chandra. Or I have this nice fruits. Let me make some nice milkshake for Radha Dam Chandra. Like that, this is how intelligence deliberation works. That is what deliberate consideration means. You don't, mechanically, you don't think, no, Prabhus. When you look at something, when you take something, suppose some coconut tree is there, immediately you will think of coconut. When it is tender coconut is there, we can offer it for Abhishek, or we can make some offering to the Lord. Or if it is a ripe coconut, then we can use the coconut inside for some other cooking. There is intelligence involved in this. And you deliberately, you consider that deliberation. There is the word deliberate is a very interesting combination of two words. Deliberation. Have you thought of this word before? Deliberation, deliberation. Deliberating the mind, deliberating on the mind, deliberating. I'm meditating. My mind is deliberating. My intelligence is deliberating. What does mean? Deliberation, 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 limitation, delimitation. Correct? Opposite of that. Yes or no? So, liberation means whatever you want, you can do. You let the mind and intelligence think like that, whichever way you want. So it goes free, scot free. There is no control at all there. It can go and enjoy wherever it wants. But a good intelligence is that which you are using for deliberation. Means you keep it focused on this. Don't go anywhere and everywhere. I want to think about Krishna now. So you stop it from running around everywhere and focusing it in one seva. So unless you focus, what is that? Yavasayatmika buddhi eka iha gurunandana. Unless you focus eka buddhi eka, if it is not eka, it can go anywhere. So deliberation actually means eka vyavasatmika buddhi eka iha gurunandana. Now 3 hours, our intelligence, you let it go anywhere you want. It could have gone anywhere. It would have taken you to, say, Prasadam Hall. It could have taken you to some mall. It could have taken you to the railway station, airport, or anywhere. You can just roam around anywhere you want. But you see, suppose you have a bike or a car. Because you have a destination to go, next appointment is there, you don't go anywhere and everywhere. Correct? You, wherever you go, come back on time. Or you think that, okay, I have to go from here to camp. I have half an hour, so let me go. So you don't get diverted here and there. Suddenly somebody calls and tells, Prabhu, come to Hinjavadi. You don't go. No, Prabhu, I have class in camp. I will come later. I will call you after that. We say that no. What does that mean? That is deliberation. You stop the mind or intelligence from roaming around. Liberation means roaming, wandering everywhere without any control. You got the point? How we should understand these words? Deliberation. Intelligence or mind, when it goes anywhere and without any restriction, that is liberation. Liberation can be seen in 2 ways. Liberate, freedom. Right? And another thing is, you don't stay under anybody's control. Completely liberated. You don't care for anybody's voice. So intelligence properly utilized is deliberation. With proper control. Just give me this only. That is intelligence. It doesn't go here, there, everywhere. Correct? So that is how is this such a beautiful word Prabhupada is using here. One should, by deliberate consideration, raise himself to the platform of Krishna consciousness. So intelligence in its truest form is happy only when you use it in Krishna consciousness. That is what deliberate consideration means. And consideration in its truest sense means for Krishna. You consider, right? Isn't it? You consider things for, okay, this will please Krishna. This will not please Krishna. That is consideration. Generally for anybody, he is very considerate, we say. Why we say he is very considerate? Use the word considerate, no? He considers what is good for you. I see, probably Prabhu is having some pain in his leg. I have to get some balm for him. Or he is hungry. I will ask him to go and have prasadam. That is considerate. He is very considerate. We say, no. So consider. This is how you should decipher each and every word. This deliberate consideration means this is what it means. So intelligence has to be utilized in doing good for ourselves and for others. That's what it means. And with the proper support of the Shastra, sadhus, and that is deliberation. You are deliberating means you are deliberating with the help of the Shastras, with the help of the instruction from the sadhus, and you consider what is the best thing. Does that help, Prabhu? How you decipher the meanings of these words? Necessity, for example, there is a Prabhupada always uses the word necessity, right? You split that word, necessity. Necessary, necessary, we say. Now the necessary word, necessity word, if you see the root of it, cess, C-E-S-S, right? There is a word called cessation for stopping. Correct? Cessation. So ne means no. Negate. No. So no cessation is necessary. That is what it means. Necessity means no cessation, no stop. Water is necessity, is a great necessity for me. What does it mean? You cannot stop the flow of water. You cannot stop 2-3 days. You cannot say, I cannot drink water at all. You will lose your life. Air is very necessity for you because without stop, it has to be coming to you. You have to keep that in stock. See, like this, you break the words. Finally, English is a stolen language only. It's a thieves only. They are everything they steal. So that half the thing from our language only they have taken, more than half. Like this, you understand these words, you will enjoy English also. That's why Prabhupada's English is very pure English. Engaged in Krishna consciousness. No. Let's go further. Beautifully, Prabhupada is bringing this point here. Who's reading? Please continue the purport.
One has to awaken his Krishna consciousness by first.
No, where are you reading? Oh, did we read this thing? To attain such an end, one must touch the lotus feet of the spiritual master. Please read that. We stopped with that statement. No, deliberate consideration.
Translation?
No, purport. To attain such an end.
To attain such an end, one must touch the lotus feet of the spiritual master. Krishna consciousness cannot be achieved by self-endeavor. One must therefore approach a self-realized Krishna conscious person and touch his lotus feet.
So now Puranjana is touching the queen's 2 feet. So Prabhupada is completely transforming it to touching the lotus feet of the spiritual master. A beautiful verse from Prahlad Maharaj. Naishamatista vaduru kramangrim sprushatyanartha pagamo yadartaha mahiya sampadarajo bhishekam nishkinchananam navrunita yavad.
One cannot come to the
workings
of Krishna consciousness unless he touches the dust of the lotus feet of a person who has become a Mahatma. A great devotee, this is the beginning of the surrendering process. Lord Krishna wants everyone to surrender unto him. And this surrendering process begins when one touches the lotus feet of a bona fide spiritual master. By sincerely rendering service to a
surrendering process begins and it's the so when we pay obeisance to spiritual master or any senior Vaishnava, we should be conscious that our spiritual process is our consciousness, Krishna consciousness beginning. It's enhancing by that. It's not mechanically done. Right? Beautiful point here. Okay, please continue, Prabhu.
By sincerely rendering service to a bona fide spiritual master, one begins his spiritual life in Krishna consciousness. Touching the lotus feet of a spiritual master means giving up one's false prestige and unnecessarily puffed up position in the material world. Those who remain in the darkness of material existence due to their falsely prestigious position, so-called scientists and philosophers, are actually atheists. They do not know the ultimate cause of everything. Although bewildered, they are not ready to surrender themselves to the lotus feet of a person who knows things in their proper perspective. In other words, one cannot arouse Krishna consciousness simply by his own mental speculation. One must surrender to a bona fide spiritual master. Only this process will help one.
One must surrender to a bona fide spiritual master. Nice. How much emphasis, huh? So this is why this purport is very nice. Prabhupada keeps highlighting about the spiritual master in all these verses. Puranjana uvacha nunam takrita punyaste bhrutyaye shvishwarah shubhe kritaga swatmasat kritva shiksha dandam na yujyate.
King Puranjana said, "My dear beautiful wife, when a master accepts a servant as his own man but does not punish him for his offenses, the servant must be considered unfortunate."
The servant must be considered unfortunate. So this is a beautiful thing. So please continue the purport. It will be very beautiful.
According to Vedic civilization, domestic animals and servants are treated exactly like one's own children. Animals and children are sometimes punished not out of vengeance but out of love. Similarly, a master sometimes punishes his servant not out of vengeance but out of love, to correct him and bring him to the right point. Thus, King Puranjana took his punishment dealt by his wife, the queen, as mercy upon him. He considered himself the most obedient servant of the queen. She was angry at him for his sinful activities, namely hunting in the forest and leaving her at home. King Puranjana accepted the punishment as actual love and affection from his wife. In the same way, when a person is punished by the laws of nature, by the will of God, he should not be disturbed. A real devotee thinks in this way. When a devotee is put into awkward position, he takes it as mercy of the Lord.
So this way, how nicely Prabhupada is relating here that Puranjana, frankly, with all this thing, he is actually very genuine. He repents for his mistake, and he also tells his queen that please punish me. If you don't punish me, I will feel myself very unfortunate. Normally, we escape punishment, we feel very fortunate. Right? He is saying the opposite. No, if you don't punish me only, I will be unfortunate. Please punish me. Right? And Prabhupada is so beautifully bringing this point here that accepted the punishment as actual love and affection from his wife. Very important point, because when spiritual master gives his punishment, or I mean when he punishes us, or Krishna punishes us, Prabhupada is using here, see, when a person is punished by the law of nature, by the will of the Lord, he should not be disturbed. On the other hand, he should thank Krishna for giving the punishment. That's why Prabhupada is quoting this Tatyanukampam shloka so nicely. We'll recite that. Tatyanukampam susamikshamaano bhujana evatmakritam vipakam hridvagapurber vidadhan namaste jiveta yo muktipade sadayabhak.
This verse states that the devotee accepts a reversal of his position in life as a benediction by the Lord, and consequently offers the Lord more obeisances and prayers, thinking that the punishment is due to his past misdeeds and that the Lord is punishing him very mildly. The punishment awarded by the state or by the God for one's own faults is actually for one's benefit.
By the state or by the God. Prabhupada is including the punishment by the state also.
In the Manu Samhita, it is said that the king should be considered merciful when he condemns a murderer to death, because a murderer punished in this life becomes freed from his sinful activity and in the next life takes birth cleared of all sins. If one accepts punishment as a reward dealt by the master, he becomes intelligent enough not to commit the same mistake again.
See, beautiful, no? That last line is really beautiful. Usually, you'll find the first or the last line is very punching. There will be some that will come in between also, many times. But always you will see first or the last line, Prabhupada will conclude with a beautiful statement. See, read it again.
If one accepts punishment as a reward dealt by the master, he becomes intelligent enough not to commit the same mistake again.
Such a nice, beautiful, positive thing that he is telling. It's like, how should I say? It's a remedy for that repeated mistakes. This is the remedy for repeated offense, or the solution way out of a repeated offense, that you accept the punishment as a reward given by the master. Then that will be like enough not to commit the same mistake again. Many times our Guru Maharaj also used to chastise us. Whenever we get chastised, we will literally go shivering, because that chastisement will be really, really heavy, extremely heavy. And for a day or two, we would not be in our normal sense also. We will not be able to eat properly, sleep properly. It's something which is, what you call, it should be really heavy. You should feel the heaviness of that chastisement. But you should always say that, like, it's a reward by the master, he is not doing it out of grudge or something. Once I remember, I was with Maharaj in Nashik. I was serving him personally in his ashram. So in the evening, what happened? Usually, Maharaj, because the mosquitoes are there, he would ask me to put the mosquito net outside. The breeze will be good there. So he would ask me to spread it out, and then he will go inside and sleep. So that day, what happened? He asked me to put it on the terrace, just one floor, that's ground floor and terrace. That's all. So what happened? We were climbing up the stairs, and Maharaj's nature is that every time he takes a step, he will chant some verse, or he climbs up the stairs, or he rolls chapati, or he washes clothes. Every whatever goes, the other side of the slokas will keep going on. Morning 4:30 he will start taking 4 o'clock he starts bathing, washing clothes and all that. By the time he finishes Mangalarti and chanting, then goes to cook. Most of the Bhagavad Gita chapters will be finished. The 18th chapter by heart. So he will just keep on going like this, and by the time he is rolling also, he will on the one side the slokas will go on. So he was climbing up the stairs, and while going up, he said, I was holding his hand, and he told, come on, let's recite 12th chapter. And 12th and 15th chapter I've learned right from my childhood. No, we know by heart. But on that day, something what happened while climbing, I was focusing a bit more on making sure Maharaj goes up proper carefully. So I was chanting the slokas. Both of us are doing together, but sometimes Maharaj had to prompt me for one or two words, or I was just jumbling whatever. At the time only Maharaj noticed something is missing. Then we went there, we put the net and all that. And I thought, okay, we escaped one test. Let's just go down and do other stuff. Maharaj said, you sit down. Now let's say 15th chapter. So I know 15th chapter also, but some words here and there started missing there. So he was, what is that 18th shloka? Pratitaha Purushottamaha. How does it start? See, now also I Tasmat Yasmaksharam Atitoham Aksharaadapi Chotamaha Atosmi Loke Veteja Pratitaha Purushottama. This verse I jumbled. I missed one or two words. Maharaj that time caught hold of me. You don't know this verse? How will you preach, man? And he didn't fire in a long statement or like that and all. He just asked me this only. You don't know this verse? This is the most important verse in this chapter. How can you not know this? How can you preach without knowing this sloka? This is nonsense. That's all he told. And you won't believe it. I was literally shivering like standing in front of Nrsimhadev. And this many years ago. And then what happened? He said, okay. And then he left, and then he said he went to rest. That whole night I didn't sleep. I made sure I will not repeat this statement again. So this mistake again. So I was writing down every verse. And Maharaj will many times ask us to by heart translation also. Not only verse. He will say, you by heart the translation also and recite it along with it. So in my notebook, I was writing every verse and translation, till morning. The next day I had to leave for airport in the morning. But I wanted to make sure I'll correct this mistake, and I wrote down all the verses of 12th and 15th chapter in my notebook and kept on repeating the sequence also. I knew this. This is the biggest thing that, from childhood you will know this, but at the time when it's needed, it will not come. Somewhere you will mumble. So then what happened? Next day morning, Maharaj got up, and I was about to leave for the airport. Maharaj was totally free. I mean, he had no semblance of that upset anger at all. He was very lovingly talking to me. Then I was about to leave. Just 15 more minutes to go. Maharaj, I am extremely sorry. Yesterday I did not recite the verse properly. Can you give me a chance to recite it again to you? Then Maharaj said, no, don't worry. But you should know, without knowing these things, we should not be careless in remembering the shlokas. You may remember many other important other slokas, but the basic ones which are taught to us right from childhood, you will just be careless about it. So we said, we should not do that. So you please keep this in your mind. And he didn't want to hear my second thing, says repetition. He said, you understood your mistake, so it's okay. And then he told me there is a sequence in the 12th chapter. You should remember that sequence and you should meditate on it. That, if you don't do this, at least do this. That sequence is there, no? So why I'm saying this is that we have to actually feel the thing as a reward, not as a grudging thing, grudging experience. If we feel it as a grudging experience, we will only act not to get chastisement from the spiritual master. So there won't be any loving exchange there. When the spiritual master is chastising us, we should actually feel very happy and thankful to the spiritual master for chastising us. It's very, very important. As some thought just came to my mind, I just shared it. So let's go further. We finish this purport. Yes, if one accepts punishment as a reward dealt by the master, he becomes intelligent enough not to commit the same mistake again. You have a question, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Very happy to hear that incident. So, like in our life also, whenever we do some services, there will be chances where we'll commit mistakes. And also some kind of correction, feedback or chastisement will come. Sometimes what happens, we apply our logic behind the incident and we logically try to see that, array, what I did means that's what I could do. I had no other further chance in that. So when that time some kind of chastisement comes, then the rebelliousness comes out. Rebelliousness will come out.
Rebelliousness, yeah.
I already did, I extended so much, I slept late also, I sacrificed my dinner also, still on the top of that I am getting this chastisement. So these kind of thoughts will come. And the next time when you want to go in front of him and then he is demanding, then that loving attitude to serve may not be present as it was before. So what we can do, Guruji, in this situation?
No, very good point, Prabhu. Practically, we all face that. The Maharaj said this when we asked this question, similar question to Maharaj, Vishnu Maharaj. He said this, that your problem is that you are proud that you cannot commit mistakes. You are proud that you will not commit mistakes. So for that disease, this criticism or chastisement is the disease, is the cure for that disease. You didn't get you? You didn't get it? This the pride that I will always do right thing, I will not commit mistake at all, is the disease. It's our disease. And this criticism that we receive is the cure for that disease. Because it will make you understand that yes, I am fallible. Otherwise, we have this proud that I will never forget any bhajans. I will never forget any slokas. I will never do any mistake in this service. That is how we tend to think. In the heart of hearts, that's what we think. So when somebody is criticizing us or chastising us or pointing out faults in us, then we say, how can he do it? How did I make the mistake? So that humility is lost when we are proud. So these, many times it has happened to me also, bro. What you're saying, I was 100% sure that I am correct. I did it the right way. But even then, Maharaj chastised me. And I was wondering why. See, Maharaj knows that. He only told me to do this and I did this. In fact, the funniest thing is, the same thing for which he appreciated me, the next day he was criticizing me. These are all things have happened. So I was wondering, ma'am, yesterday you appreciated me for this, Maharaj. I was thinking, I didn't tell, but I was thinking, man, today for the same thing you are chastising me. The thing is, because of that appreciation, I would have become puffed up. So the next day he has to cool it down. So he will give you the chastisement as needed. So we should never become complacent in our devotional service. That is the main thing. So this rebellious nature and all comes because we want appreciation. We don't want any criticism. If you only enjoy the service, doing the service, you won't feel bad for someone criticizing you or finding faults with you. Instead, you will see that, okay, this is an opportunity for me to improve. Does that help, Prabhu? As a nice, that quote I will find out and tell you exactly the same. The criticisms that you receive are the medicine for your, he said, for the pride or something, false ego, one of those things that he said. Exact statement, I will get it for you. Very strong statement. Yes.
Prabhuji, most of the time, like in Bhagavatam, we see very high standard. For example, Dharma Bull is not even pointing at who has hit.
Yes.
Similarly, Parikshit Maharaj, he did not retaliate for the curse and he accepted it. And Brahmaji is telling, or Prahlad Maharaj is telling, it is because of my karma that this suffering is coming. And as practicing sadhakas, this basic thing itself in personal life become very difficult to accept that it is because of my fault. So, so if that step doesn't come, other steps are much higher. So, at least for us, what steps we can take so that to understand that yes, this is my fault because of which this suffering is coming. It may be disease, it may be correction, it may be circumstance, whatever this thing. But to understand that it is coming because of my something I have done wrong. So I feel that itself is means very difficult to attain in practice. So how we can
actually, we should not be too artificially, I won't say artificially, too much also cursing ourselves or criticizing ourselves. Once one Mataji came to Maharaj and she was crying. What's the problem, Maharaj asked. And she said, Maharaj, every time I keep a tulsi, I do everything possible. But then she every time the tulsi dies, she dies, that plant dies. So I'm not, my bhakti is not good at all, Maharaj. It's not up to the standard. He was crying like that. Maharaj was consoling her. Mata, why are you unnecessarily blaming yourself too much? It may be that the sun, Tulsi is not getting enough sun. It may be that she is not given the right amount of water. Don't put everything to blame your bhakti. That will put you into inferiority complex and depression mode. That is not what we want. Right? So this your one side of your point is valid, Prabhu, that it's very difficult to accept faults in us. How can we proceed further? That is where what I have seen, Prabhu, is that the reason why we are not able to accept our fault is because we are always going with this fruity mentality that what I am doing has to become successful. What I am doing, it should yield this much. It should yield this much thing in my, isn't it? That is why we are not able to accept the adverse results. Yes or no? When I am doing this, it should please everybody. If that person comes here, you are not washing properly, then I don't accept that in a favorable way. Correct? But as I've been telling you earlier also, if you actually enjoy that service, you don't worry about the result. The problem is we are not enjoying the service, we are enjoying the result of the service. You got it? You understood that point? So when you enjoy the service itself, you don't care whether you are getting appreciation or criticism. There, both of them you will treat equally and say, oh, if somebody is criticizing me, okay, I will get an opportunity to serve better now. So when you're enjoying the seva, you will focus on how to best do the seva rather than what is the outcome of that seva. You understood? So that is the only way to my this thing. There are many other ideas also, suggestions also. But I somehow feel that, see, suppose I am enjoying Bhagavatam, Prabhu. If I am not reciting the words properly, if somebody comes and tells me that, Prabhu, you are not reciting this verse properly, then what I will do? I will tell Prabhu, please tell me how to correctly pronounce it. Correct? On the other hand, if I think that I want to be accepted or considered as a very good Bhagavata reciter, very good Bhagavata speaker, like that, right? With that mentality, that is a fruity mentality. I am focusing on a phal. So now if I go and recite some slokas, somebody gets up and says, hey, you are not reciting properly, I will say, who are you to tell me that? How many Bhagavatam slokas you have studied? How many years you have studied? These kind of things will come. You understand? Because the difference is when you enjoy the seva itself, you will not look at whether somebody is appreciating you or criticizing you or finding faults with you. If you are enjoying only the fruit of that activity, then you cannot accept criticism. That is how we should modify our approach. Yes, Prabhu.
Adding to this question, even suppose we say that we are not looking.
And 1 minute, Prabhu. When you are enjoying that service, you will also not look at how many people are coming. You do have any company also. Just think of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj service in New Vrindavan for so many years alone as a young brahmachari. I don't know how many of you have been to New Vrindavan. It's the worst place to live during winter time. All snow, everything will be there. And it's a hill. You cannot drive the car up the hill. It will slide and come back. You will get into accident. And not only that, nothing will be coming. Nobody will come and give you vegetables, fruits and all the way up there. So you have to grow your whatever grains there, whatever is available only will be there. And in cold season, what vegetable fruit you will get? It's so difficult to live there. And Maharaj was living all alone doing DT Seva. He was the pujari there. Everybody else will go out for book distribution, warmer places. He will be the only one standing there. If he had not enjoyed that seva, he would have left that place within 4 months and finished and no more returning back. What made him stay there for 15 years continuously? Right? So that is the important thing to do. Enjoy the seva. When you enjoy the seva, you will not look at the hardships in the seva. You will not look at the fruits of the seva. Alone, at least if some 200 people are there, you will enjoy association. You will have some prasadam. Something will be there. It's alone, that austerity and enjoying devotional services, that condition is what now it's manifesting in such a glorious way in Maharaj services, and how he is all over the world is so famous. Right? Giriraj Maharaj, the kind of austerities that he went through in Juhu temple. You see that Juhu temple book, it is so wonderfully, it's distributed everywhere. It's so nicely, it's celebrated everywhere. And his books are all very, very nice and sweet, isn't it? Every one of them like that. I am just giving 1 or 2 examples to just highlight that point. Yes, Prabhu?
Normally, it is okay for us to accept our mistakes.
Accept our mistakes.
But when it comes is
what problem comes?
Like when we are in the institution setup, so it will be like if I'm going to accept my mistake in the sake of doing the service. We are not thinking about result. But then there are different devotees involved. They want to do in a certain way. So more the disturbance comes when others' mistakes are maybe neglected or not acknowledged.
And your mistakes are
highlighted.
You should be fortunate that my mistakes are highlighted so I can correct. Others' mistakes are neglected.
Yeah,
so
that is fine, Prudhi, but the service is getting affected.
Where it is getting affected?
Because of this.
Because of the other person's mistakes being neglected.
Which are being ignored.
Yeah. Why do you worry about it? Your part you are doing all right now. That is enough.
But then you told we have to enjoy the service.
You enjoy your part of the service.
But really not a good offering for Krishna, right?
Again, that it should be a good offering for Krishna also. Whether it is good or bad, Krishna has to decide, no? Krishna accepts in that half-finished form of Jagannath by that, what is that his name? Ganguly, Rajapur Jagannath. One Ganguly, he was
Ganguly, yeah, Ganguly.
he had no hands, he had no even he had leprosy or whatever. He had a disease, but he wanted only him to come and carve that entities. Remember that story behind that? So there is nothing called unfinished service in Krishna consciousness or half finished service. Prabhupada finished only 10 to 9 cantos and 10 canto some part of it only. Is that an unfinished Bhagavatam? It's finished now. It's complete now. Correct? Mahavishnu Maharaj left before completing the Rajkot temple. He gave all the instructions and guidelines, everything. Now the temple is there, his Samadhi is also there. It's complete. Understand? So don't try to see that I am doing this service, though this service has to be. Again, subtle thing is that it should be appreciated. There is nothing else. I did my heart and soul. I put my heart and soul in this project, this service, and someone is creating some mess there, because of which my efforts are not recognized. Correct, Prabhu? To your end, you did it properly. The manager or the leader of that service may not acknowledge. But Krishna knows, na? Krishna knows the effort and sincerity with which you have put in that, effort in the seva. So why you are worried about someone's thing is spoiling yours? And that is also phalahetu only, full fruity mentality only. You may help that person in a very kind way, that let him also grow for that way. But if our mood is correct, then Krishna will allow that person to hear. If your mood is, hey, because of you, my service is getting disturbed. Come on, you better behave, correct it yourself. Then it will not work. You say, oh, so you having ego, like that, that person will counterattack you. You will unnecessarily get some retaliation from the other person. So it's all the end of the day, it's a motive. You understand, Prabhu? With what mood, with what motive, with what expectation you are telling the other devotee makes a difference. Why the same statement when we say the person doesn't hear, doesn't accept, but when spiritual masters or some senior Vaishnava says he hears? It's a difference in the bhav. Correct, Prabhu? So just do your side of it properly. And deliberate consideration. Again, use the intelligence. You look at others, doesn't mean that I will do mine all right and I will don't care for others at all. That is also wrong. When you do all right, your work all right, you take your time to help the other person. That's why I'm saying, with proper bhav, you tell the other person that both of us have to row in the proper direction, otherwise you will not move forward. You tell him with a kind love and affection, you tell, they will listen. Otherwise, you do one thing, he is doing in this direction, you are doing in this direction. You also do in his direction. At least the boat will move. After some time, they will understand that, oh, it is going the opposite direction. Then anyway, both will get the chastisement. That is good. So your mind will be pacified. Okay, I am not the only one getting. The person who I wanted to get also is getting. Just kidding, Prabhu. But the reality is just be conscious and sensitive to the surrounding thing. Not that I am blindfolded like a horse, I will do only my service. It doesn't work. Always see that everything is done to the best of our ability, and it's for the pleasure of Krishna and everybody. Right?
So you told we have to enjoy the service, and when we are enjoying the service, we'll be satisfied because Krishna is pleased.
Little louder, I think they may not be able to hear.
External appreciation is not mandatory, but we also hear that appreciation is antidote for envy, like that.
Appreciation is
an
antidote for envy.
And it is natural for us to, if someone acknowledges us, we will be able to do it better also. So how to then, these two principles,
natural for us to
accept some acknowledgement or little appreciation for what we do, so that we are encouraged to do more. So these 2
Who
points.
is encouraged to do more? The other person or
No,
we?
We are encouraged.
If
We
you
are encouraged.
appreciate someone.
And someone is acknowledging our service.
Yes. When somebody is appreciating you, you are encouraged to do more.
So these
Okay.
2 principles, how to, like you told that we need not accept any appreciation as such.
But on the other hand, when someone appreciates you, it is an antidote for envy.
When someone appreciates it, it also encourages us to do more in our service. So the appreciation aspect, if someone appreciates us, it also helps in our service.
See, Prabhu, those things are all in the beginning stages when somebody is coming new. And you now know that appreciation sometimes can make us puffed up also. Isn't it? So better don't focus on that. Again, only appreciation will encourage me to do more service, means we are still in neophyte stage. And again, that appreciation is fruitive. Isn't it? Appreciation is the antidote for envy. So I am envious for somebody, envious of somebody. So if I appreciate him, then my envy will go away. That is also phalhetu. Why are you appreciating to get rid of envy? You appreciate because that person has done a good job. If that person hasn't done any good job also, I try to appreciate him. What happens? I'm saying that, hey, that guy has a shoddy job, but I want to appreciate so that my envy will go away. This is selfish. It doesn't work. Krishna will not remove that envy. At the end of the day, whatever you do, Krishna has to be the final approver for that, whether to remove your envy or not. Got it? So don't do appreciations and all with this idea that I want to be purified. I want to go back to Goloka Vrindavan. I want to be free of envy. Don't do it. Again, this is also aham mama. Appreciate somebody because they did good job and move on with it. Right? These statements are made, appreciation is the antidote for envy and all, to help you understand the importance of appreciation. That's all. Again, don't follow that literally that hey, if I do appreciation, my envy will go away. Once one devotee was also telling me that he was telling Prabhu, he was telling something about good about me. I said, Prabhu, why are you unnecessarily glorifying me? And he said, no, Prabhu, my Shiksha Guru told me that if you appreciate others, you will go to Goloka Vrindavan. Right? He said that, it seems. So he said, so I asked him, so you are appreciating me because you want to go to Goloka Vrindavan. But do you know that if I get appreciation, I will become puffed up and I will fall down? Then he said, I don't care whether you fall down or not. I want to go back to Goloka Vrindavan. For that, my Shiksha Guru told, I will have to glorify you. That's all. So I don't care. Just be sensitive about these things. Fruity mentality is a very, it's a mosquito kind of a thing, subtle thing that will keep on bothering you. But you will think that it is a minor thing compared to envy and all, but this is the most dangerous because you leave it casual. Because with the fruity mentality, we can never get unmotivated and uninterrupted devotional service. Always there will be interruption, or because there is always motivation. As long as there is motivation, there will be interruption. That's why this unmotivated and uninterrupted devotional service. You see, first comes unmotivated, next comes uninterrupted. Because as long as there is motivation, there will be interruption. Interruption will not happen on its own. Interruption happens because of motivation. Right? Because I want something appreciation. The moment I receive the appreciation, my service stops. Because that's what I was looking for. Correct? So, is that helpful? Nice questions. Very nice questions. Only thing is it is coming towards the end of our session. So we just have to complete the rest of the beautiful purports. Let's read the next one. Which one is this now? Puranjana Vacha is over now. Next one. Paramo nugraho dando vrityeshu prabhunarpitaha balo na veda tattanvi bandhu krityam amarshanaha.
Maiden. When a master chastises his servant, the servant should accept this as great mercy. One who becomes angry must be very foolish not to know that such is the duty of his friend.
So he is extending on that point about a servant should feel very fortunate, and at the same time, that one who becomes angry must be very foolish not to know that such is the duty of his friend. When the friend finds faults or chastises thing, that is his duty to do. That is a well-wisher's duty to do. That is why Krishna is chastising Arjuna. That is why Vyasadeva, Narada Muni is chastising Vyasadeva. Our spiritual master is the friend, guide, and well-wisher. Okay, next. Satam mukham sudati subra nuraga bhara vrida vilamba vilasadhasitavalokam nila lakabirupasak nila lakalibirupaskృతమున్న సన్నః swanam pradarshaya manas vinivalguvakyam.
My dear wife, your teeth are very beautifully set, and your attractive features make you appear very thoughtful. Kindly give up your anger, be merciful upon me, and please smile upon me with loving attachment. When I see a smile on your beautiful face, and when I see your hair, which is as beautiful as the color blue, and see your raised nose, and hear your sweet talk, you will become more beautiful to me, and thus attract me and oblige me. You are my most respected mistress.
So in this, Prabhupada gives the he is trying to tell the wife about you should become please smile upon me with loving attachment. I see when I see your loving smiling face, I feel very happy, etc., etc. Right? So Prabhupada is giving in the purport this example of the story of the woman who collected beauty in the form of vomits and stool and everything, and this is all the beauty thing. So Prabhupada says this beautifully that thus the man became aware that a beauty is simply a lump of matter of blood, urine and stool and other disgusting. This is the actual fact, but in the state of illusion, man becomes attracted by illusory beauty and becomes a victim of Maya. So Prabhupada is giving here the illusory nature of this world. But see the next paragraph. You can read the next paragraph.
King Puranjan begged his queen to return to her original beauty. He tried to revive her just as living entity tries to revive his original consciousness, Krishna consciousness, which is very beautiful.
So that beauty, Prabhupada is translating it to Krishna consciousness. We have living entity is beautiful only when he is in proper Krishna consciousness, when he is in this natural position of being Krishna conscious. Please continue further, Prabhu.
All the beautiful features of the queen must be compared to beautiful features of Krishna consciousness. When one returns to his original Krishna consciousness, he actually becomes steady and his life becomes successful.
How nice, huh? Prabhupada is beautifully giving this thing now. Tasmin dadhe damamaham tava veera patni yonyatra bhusurakulat kritakil bishastam pashyena vita bhayamunmuditam trilokyam anyatra vai muraripo ritaratra dasat.
Oh, hero's wife, kindly tell me if someone has offended you. I am prepared to give such a person punishment as long as he does not belong to the Brahmana caste. But for the servant of Muraripu, Krishna, I excuse no one within or beyond these three worlds. No one can freely move after offending you, for I am prepared to punish him.
So here Prabhupada is highlighting this offense thing from a Vaishnava Aparadh point of view, how the mad elephant destroys the whole of our Krishna consciousness, and Ambarish Durvasamuni story, and by that he is explaining this point more closely on that. Let's go move on. You please repeat your sorry. Any point? Somebody was saying something? Sorry?
एक है अपने पास चाकू थोड़ा सा.
What happened? Somebody was saying something?
background they were talking.
Background. Okay, fine. Sorry. Let's move on. This verse you can, this purport you can read because already late. We have to finish this chapter. Vaktram nate vitilakam malinam viharsham samramba bhimam avimrishtam apetaragam pashye stanav apishuchopakhatau sujatau bimbadharam vigatakunkum pankaragam.
My dear wife, until this day I have never seen your face without tilak decorations, nor have I seen you so morose and without luster or affection, nor have I seen your two nice breasts wet with tears from your eyes, nor have I ever before seen your lips, which are ordinarily as red as the bimbo fruit, without their reddish hue.
See, the Prabhupada says very nicely that generally women look beautiful, what other thing, but when one's consciousness and intelligence are without any brilliant thoughts about Krishna, brilliant thoughts about, see, Prabhupada is, this is what I was telling you, Prabhu, that you have to find out those standout words, right? Something which will be standing out in those, without any brilliant thoughts about Krishna. What is this brilliant thought suddenly, you know? These brilliant thoughts are something which are revelations that are coming by Krishna's mercy. You know, you really feel suddenly, hey, this is nice realization. Come on, let's go do it. These are brilliant thoughts about Krishna. They become morose and lustreless. Without any brilliant thoughts, they become morose and lustreless, so much so that one cannot derive any benefit despite sharp intelligence. How nice these words are. Even you may be having sharp intelligence. You may be just like that, you'll remember everything. Or you may be like knowing everything about this, whatever, some science, all those things. But without brilliant thoughts about Krishna, it's all null and void. Last verse of this chapter. Tanme prasida suhrudakrita kilbishasya swairam gatasya mrigayam vyasanaturasya kadevaram vashagatam kusumastra vega israstapaunsnam ushati nabhajeta kritye.
My dear queen, due to my sinful desires, I went to the forest to hunt without asking you. Therefore, I must admit that I have offended you. Nonetheless, thinking of me as your most intimate subordinate, you should still be very much pleased with me. Factually, I am very much bereaved, but being pierced by the arrow of Cupid, I am feeling lusty. But where is the beautiful woman who would give up her lusty husband and refuse to unite with him?
So, this is the last verse of the chapter. We'll stop here. It's already 2:15. Any final questions from online also and from here also? There are some really nice questions that came from you all. But we just wanted to finish the chapter. So if anybody has any questions, Prabhus. We're done. Okay. So tomorrow we will do 27th chapter. 27th is also a small chapter only, 30 verses. But then, as I told you, see, today we took 16 verses took all the time. We'll try to complete. I would like you to go through it yourself so that you can highlight some of the purports. You may not be able to delve every single purport there. So go through some of these purports yourself, and like I showed you, this highlight the standout statements, standout words. Take out those phrases. Then we can discuss. It can be your questions or clarification also, or your realizations also. Either way, you can bring it out, and that way we can move a little faster. Then we don't need to read the whole purport of all the purports also. And so tomorrow is Thursday, no? So we will see if I can complete this next chapter to a certain extent, and we can at least start the 28th chapter. So Friday, we'll try to finish that 28th chapter. And there are some very important verses in the 29th also. We may not be able to read 29th chapter fully, but those important verses alone, I will give it to you. I will highlight them to you. Thank you so much, Prabhus. Thank you so much, Prabhus, and online also. We will see you all tomorrow, Krishna willing. Hare Krishna. Antara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Tagore Premanande Hari.